very warm welcome to the first episode of the podcast after a very long time. Bunny and Swag. Hack has already been with us. He has been a regular panelist. So we've had a bunch of conversations.
No warm welcome to me.
A very warm welcome back to you.
I'll welcome you. Hi, Hack.
Very warm welcome back to the podcast, Hack. So we had a lot of conversations. A lot of times we were talking about the issues within the gaming situation. Last time we were talking about how things were falling out between certain creators, and they were just moving from Twitch to YouTube, and then there was Facebook in the game as well. Over the time, Facebook dropped out, which was a funny turn of events because everybody was counting on Facebook, and they were like, "Yes, Facebook will get us some money," and then everybody was just sad about the fact that this was happening. Then came Mixer, then came Facebook again, then came Kick, and a bunch of things just changed over the times. I think recently XQC struck a deal with Kick, $100 million.
Yep.
Did you guys read up on that? What do you guys think?
And then Kick crashed.
Kick crashed? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
I didn't see that. What happened? What exactly went there? What happened?
So the minute news came out that XTC has signed up $100 million
A
thing,
lot of people join.
a lot of people joined Kick, and there was a lot of I'm
Traffic,
forgetting the
basically.
word. Yeah, traffic. Yeah.
Mm.
So that's why what happened was their servers completely crashed
Nice.
because they did not have the
got
servers
banned.
ready up for that. Yeah.
Oh, and that's
XQZ already had a lot of following, right? So he brought all of his 1 million plus subscribers, and yep, that's it.
subscriber.
Wait.
For a toss.
Give me 1 second, I'll be back.
Yeah.
I need to cough. Give me 1 second. There's something irritating me.
Yeah.
निकालो.
पानी पी लो.
bleh.
पानी के लिए जाना पड़ेगा ना, तू लेजी.
जान लिया वो भी क्या हुआ?
मेरे को भी लेके
यार नहीं यार, मार्बल का दर्द हो जाएगा, तू छोड़.
मैं लेके आता हूँ. How do I?
कैमरा ही बंद कर दिया.
Oh yeah. We just stopped in between the things. हो गया तेरा?
Sorry. I'm here.
हो गया नहीं हुआ अब तेरा?
Hmm?
हो गया?
Yeah, I got another call, so
Very nice.
quick one. All good.
Very cool. Very decent.
अच्छे से विश कर दिया अंकल को.
हाँ. हो गया. I called him actually in the afternoon. Then he was busy. Then he called me and I was busy. So yeah, वही problem हुआ.
तो इस पे क्या सिमको वगैरह कुछ लगाता है मुझ पे?
क्या?
सिमको या कुछ जेल जूल लगाता है?
It's just natural.
The curl is also natural, stays even
Yep.
while you're sleeping.
So it's like sleeping. It's like थोड़ा इधर उधर हो जाता है ऐसे नीचे ऊपर. But it comes back normal, dude.
वो
It
ऐसे
just
करता
stays.
हाँ.
Yeah, I just have to do this and it stays.
नहीं तो सोने सुबह उठने के टाइम पे ऐसे एकदम से कॉकरोच.
No, not really.
I
It actually
believe
stays.
I believe beard and mustache के बाल जो होते हैं वो थोड़ा like thick होता है. So it actually when
Yep.
you start angling it stays that way.
Yeah. I'm just asking because
See, she knows more than you, bro.
yeah.
क्योंकि होता नहीं है ना, वो पूछते हैं.
मेरे
ये
इतना
है नहीं, मेरे पति
Basically-
के हैं.
Hmm.
Swag, you're basically looking like Nellore Pedareddy, right?
Who?
Nellore Pedareddy.
I have no idea who that
there is
is.
a generational difference between you and him.
Yes. ऐसा
Whatever
मत
the
बोलो.
He
reference-
didn't
whatever the
understand my
reference- whatever-
I'm taking my
Yeah.
I'm taking images.
नहीं, he comes on camera and the only word that can pop into my head is Tanhaji warrior.
Tanaji. Oh yeah, that
Oh,
too.
By the way, did you guys go to watch Adipurush?
no.
No.
I don't have the.
I saw the VFX and I was like,
I don't
No,
have the
thank you.
mental bandwidth to do
इतना
so.
साहस नहीं है मेरे में.
मैंने वो सिर्फ सोशल मीडिया पे देखा and I was happy. Certain clips. I think मैंने बोल चल अभी कुछ तो है लेकिन इतना नहीं कि that I want to push myself to go all the way and watch the movie. I'll wait for it to
dude,
come
it's
to
like
me.
the kind of animations that they have was literally what I was doing when I was in college. So wo dekha was like nah, don't need it.
To be honest, they have copied a lot of
Mm.
animations from different movies or shows.
Yeah.
Then let's not even talk about the dialogues. Let's just
Yeah.
say कि अगर हम दिल्ली में चांदनी चौक पर निकल जाए या सरोजनी नगर निकल जाए दिन में and लोग जैसे लड़ते हैं वहां पर उस टाइप के like they're so bad.
I mean, the point of that, of them spending around 300 million on that
Six
is
hundred.
Awful.
600
Yeah,
million.
600.
Yes.
ये ब्लैक का
300
पैसा वाइट
crores.
कर रहे थे कि what exactly is happening? I don't know.
They have not even
I
covered
mean,
the entire story of Ramayana. That is what is the most cringiest part. They
Yeah.
and
changed everything according to themselves. सोने की लंका की जगह काली लंका है.
uh,
The fact that you
exactly. I
went and
mean,
watched it is, just sad.
I
and
didn't
they
watch
made
it. I
Ravan
didn't watch it.
completely
It's
evil
just
too.
coming. Yeah, and not just that. Ravan has those two cuts over here. You know the Ranveer Singh
Correct.
wala haircut,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then he has a perfectly angled beard as well.
yeah.
You know,
He
he's
was a. I
completely
mean,
just wearing
if you
black clothes.
if you read if you have ever read any of the epics like in Ramayana or any other rewrites of it, Ravan was always portrayed as a very saintly person.
Yep.
Right? He may be a villain or an antagonist, but at that point of time, he never touched Sita, for example. Right,
Yeah.
and he respected her very much. He took care of her, not only Sita, of all his wives who she met at Brindavan Garden, right? And they all were praising him for taking care of the entire city.
Yeah.
And he was much far better administrator than Ram ever was, to be honest.
And there's one more thing that I
Okay.
remember is that we all know that Lord Ram was an incarnation of Vishnu, right?
Vishnu.
Mm.
So there is writing that when Ravan was dying, Lord Ram was right there with him. Lord Ram was actually just kneeling at him, right, and
Yeah,
holding his hand. And he saw, like he, Lord Vishnu decided to actually show himself,
correct.
Lord Ram.
Yeah,
And he saw Lord Vishnu and he said sorry. He was that literate. He said sorry and he said that I made a mistake. Then it was kind of like, Lord Vishnu was like, no, this is it. Like, ye tumhara, main tumhe maaf karta, all those things. So they have not really shown how literate of a man Ravan was.
he
They have
was
just shown
very
how,
literate. Yeah,
yeah, how wealthy he was, and how, yeah, he was greedy for wealth, no doubt. But when it came to taking care of that wealth and using that wealth properly,
Yeah.
they have not shown that. They have just they've shown Ravan as a क्या कहते हैं एक हथौड़ा लेके आयरन पे मारता
huh.
है लोहार दिखाया है उसे या
He was a proper Brahmin, and he used to
Yeah.
follow
yes
each ritual carefully. Even Amish's novels, right? Though the Ram series and everything, those also covered a lot about how scholarly he was. He used to read, he used to teach people, he used to be well versed in literature. He used to write poems, he used to write, other stuff, and yeah, he was a huge Shiva Bhakt, right?
Yeah.
And you know about the story when he
yeah
goes to Mount Kailasha and prays for Lord Shiva.
yes
Yeah, all that.
but also I am forgetting the word of the he used to fly on like travel on forgetting the word the name of the
Pushpak
thing
Viman.
Pushpak
yes
Viman.
Pushpak Viman do you know what they have shown in this movie
No.
it's riding a bat.
Wasn't it a dragon at some point of time? I saw a trailer
Yeah.
or something.
That was a giant bat.
It's a bat. It's a bat,
It's a
which they
giant
have
dragon
copied.
shaped
The
bat.
animation they have copied is from Game of Thrones. You remember Daenerys?
Yeah, yeah,
उसका जो scene था from Game of Thrones का आखिरी season, that they have copied
yeah.
the
That
entire scene,
shit.
and there is no Pushpak Viman about the entire thing. And God knows what they have done.
I'm
I
lucky
mean,
happy I didn't watch the movie.
I went
Yeah.
I
for
mean,
Flash. I went for Flash. I ain't watching Adi
how was
Purus, you
Flash
know.
though?
That was Flash.
DC made me proud. Like after watching
Really?
Spider Verse, DC made me proud. Trust me.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
DC is back
Okay,
again.
look, Flash is supposed to be a funny character, right?
Yeah.
So, given the series we got of Flash
Hmm.
back in the day, in 2000, I think 13 or 14, it came out.
Yeah.
Grandmaster.
So, compared to that, इसमें फ्लैश पूरे टाइम ज़्यादा टाइम होता रहता है. इसमें I would say the guy has done a very good job, Flash. And then of course
That's
we
right.
have the older Batman coming in, the OG Batman. So of course
Oh,
it
yeah.
was fun to watch.
You want some nuts? Let's go nuts.
It's
You remind me of
want
Deadpool
some
saying,
nuts.
Deadpool saying, "This shit's gonna have nuts in it." That was I
Sorry,
don't
I'm allergic.
to nuts.
No, I'm
Yeah.
not.
Swagger has some jokes to say.
Me?
As soon as I said, as soon as I said nuts,
Yeah, it's
you
better if I
scoffed.
keep quiet, you know.
When you say
No,
nuts,
I know.
the only movie that comes to my mind is Ice Age. Remember that
Yeah,
squirrel who went nuts
Oh,
for the
yeah.
nut?
yeah, that was crazy.
उसकी वजह से सारे कॉन्टिनेंट्स अलग हो गए थे.
You know, if I could venture out a guess of what Turbo was Swagger was about to joke about, I could definitely say he was going for these nuts.
पुराना हो चुका है dude, बहुत पुराना हो चुका है.
I have
There was
I
this.
don't know.
There were a bunch of knock jokes I was listening to recently. One of them
Mm.
had this one. I'm going to crack this one later on in the podcast for sure. Because that.
I mean, yeah. Go ahead.
Go
Sorry.
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. You're saying
No, I was just continuing from where you stopped. So,
the nuts.
yep.
What were you making out of the nuts?
No, even
Kala?
though it's an old joke, you remember there was a guy who
That was literally in my head, you know, Nutella.
nut.
Did you
Yeah,
just say
hazelnuts.
Nutella?
She said Nutella. I was like, bro, this is exactly what I heard.
No.
It's a Nutella. It's made out of hazelnuts. It
Yep.
sounds wrong. Your hazel is a male or a female? Said.
How do you think is going to be a male? How do you think Hazel is male?
Why not?
It could
How?
be. Dude,
I
it's
mean,
Cannot
2023.
speculate nowadays. This is
Exactly.
what
You
we're
cannot
gonna
assume the
continue the
gender.
podcast on. Yes, exactly.
it can be whatever it wants, dude.
The naming
Must
convey.
almost got cancelled because of
Have you asked Hazel what she, identifies
they
as?
wanna be. Have you
She
asked
doesn't. She
Hazel
only
what they
says
wanna
woof.
be?
She says woof,
Yeah,
and then
see?
she
So
then she.
it is your problem that you don't understand what
No,
woof
no, no.
means.
Let me complete.
She said
She
he's
says
like
woof, and then she points at her genitalia. That is exactly what is happens. So that's where she it ends and does things. So now what do you want me to say? The
So
genitalia
basically,
says
she's
everything.
looking at you and saying, these nuts. That's it.
There are no nuts. There is no spoon. So
I can't say the same for my cat. You know,
why?
Hmm.
I've seen him. Let it be. Shouldn't
Why?
have brought that.
Yeah.
Why?
I can't say the same
I
about
would say
my
just
cats
saying
as
one thing
well.
like I had two male cats. I had to leave the house after something happened.
Ah, fuck. Hmm.
What?
Male cats normally mark their territories, so yeah, that
Mark their
gets.
territories by mounting another male cat.
Yep.
Huh?
Yeah.
Wait,
You?
what?
Don't.
Dominance. It's called
Oh,
dominance.
It's
that is
It's a
not what
dom.
I thought about, by the way.
Trust me, both of them were enjoying it. Trust me. My
no, the thing
cat
is,
is not okay.
Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
a
see, it's 23. Cats also can be gay, okay?
They, them.
Well,
where are
apparently,
they?
after a while, 2 weeks ago, I found out that my cat had a baby
The male one.
Wait,
from
the
a
male
female
cat had
cat.
a baby?
Female cat. The female cat
Fair
unfortunately
enough.
passed away,
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
and I had to rescue that baby. And the baby is with me now, so I have three cats in my house, and it's a mess.
Oh,
I
the
hope they are
cat
leaving the.
passed away in childbirth?
I think she might have passed away
She
after that.
was.
Oh, man.
Did
Because the
you
baby is pretty good going, so yeah, she might have
did you
passed away.
check for the mother and
Thing is that Sam spotted the kitten in our garbage area. He was looking for food.
Oh,
So this kept going around for like a week and a half. If there was a mother, the mother would go around hunting for food, right?
True.
What mothers
True.
do till the babies are weaned. This age we found him at,
yeah.
that is not the age they get weaned at. It's about like 4 to 5 weeks. And he's just like 2.5 weeks. I can tell.
But
So
yeah,
So you had to feed him with a tube and everything, that injection, whatever.
nah, the thing is that he survived out there for that long. So he can climb up spaces unlike any other 2.5 week kitten. He
Hmm.
eats whatever we like. He eats chicken, raw chicken and stuff. So he's good. Survive.
Okay. I mean, I guess you're still supposed to like give them cooked chicken, right? Because raw is not like good for them or something.
I give them semi cooked
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
because when that don't really cats don't really enjoy cooked chicken, especially
Because
if
Yeah,
you're
they
I
don't.
like I read somewhere
especially if
that you're
you're
not supposed
cooking
to give
at
them.
chicken at home.
Hmm.
Don't really enjoy it, and since there's no salt or anything that needs to be put in there because salt is not good for them, don't really enjoy it. So kind of like raw meat is what attracts them. So I give them sometimes I give them raw, sometimes I give them semi cooked. It's raw in the middle and cooked on the outside, so that way they can actually just have their food.
Yeah.
We actually
I
had
mean, boiled
20.
chicken is
Oh,
what I used to feed my cats. So
mhm.
apart from the,
Well,
uh,
we also give them chicken feet.
oh,
It's
okay,
good for them. Yeah, it's like we
Okay.
get chicken feet. I boil them and I shred them. So it basically turns into like packaged food, right?
Right.
And they enjoy it.
Yeah.
Love
But
it.
I'm not sure how digestible is that for them. I've been told that punjay is something that works for all the animals, but does
It's
that work?
digestible. I have been giving that to my cats
But you're
since I've
shredding,
had
so it makes
cats.
sense. Yeah.
They have been digesting it pretty well. I don't give them every time. Like it's kind of like a
Once a month.
2 to 3 months में एक बार.
Ah,
Yeah,
fair
no.
to make sense. Not the
Yeah.
regular bit. I think I don't
Apart
think
from
we
that,
give.
I have cat food. Which they
Hmm.
live on like dry food, and then of course the wet food which I make. It's kind of like we get chicken and we boil it up, and that's it. Good to go.
Makes sense. I hope. I mean, that's exactly what I was even getting told as well. They generally should not be fed a lot of panjas, which is
Hmm.
chicken feet as well, because the soup is okay. Soup is fine, but
Actually, पंजे में होता क्या है? There's a reason behind because you should not feed your cat a lot of fat. And पंजे में there's a lot of cartilage and fat involved.
yeah.
So that's why there might be a possibility they might have diarrhea or they can have some sort of a stomach issue.
Hmm.
But
hmm.
the cartilage is good for their bones.
Yeah.
तो इसलिए 2-3 महीने में 1-2 बार में दे तो it's good for them.
The thing is, when I was like younger, around when I was in 10th and stuff, we had like
How old are
29.
you?
Huh?
I said when I was younger. How
Yes.
old are you?
Not as old as you guys, I know, but still, when I was even younger. So yeah, it's like when I was in 10th, actually not even 10th, 8th or 9th, we had like
All right.
29 kittens and cats at home.
Right.
So
29.
yep, so it started like with three, then they just kept
Like they were
multiplying.
not new to
Multiplied.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like at one
Multiply
point,
like crazy.
yep. So it's like the first time when I saw, my cat giving birth, it was a bit, like I got freaked out because it's like I saw this, small little thing just there, not even moving. And there's like a layer on top. I don't know to, go into the details, but yeah, there's a layer on top which they eat so that, they come out
It's
and start.
it's the amniotic sac.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So it's
it's
like I
So
kind
the
of
saw
cat,
that and
mesmerizing
completely
the
too.
freaked out.
mom cat licks it off and eats
Yeah,
it to get energy
Same
back.
with the dogs as
exactly.
well. It happens with
Yeah.
the dogs as well.
I
So
Oh
didn't know.
yeah,
I was
kind
like,
of
dogs
mess.
also do that.
I was super young. I didn't know about that. And the biggest thing that happened was it's like my sister was there, like next to my room, and I went, called her. I was like, "Kuch ho raha hai yahan pe? Come and see." For a second, I thought the mother cat is eating the baby cat, and I completely freaked out. When it was around 12 o'clock
Hey
in the
man.
at night, so I woke up, mom, dad, everything. Then they saw that okay, it's giving birth, the procedure is fine, whatnot. But yeah, at one point we had 29 kittens. Guess what they used to eat? Only thing I'll say is we are vegetarians. So now I'll let you guys guess. A guess
Dal
each.
chawal.
Guess what?
कि what they used to eat. क्या खाते थे?
Dal chawal.
Sabji?
Feces?
Sabji?
No, 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 no.
अच्छी यार
Dude,
फिर
dude,
Please
dude.
it.
तू कैंसिल करना पड़ेगा यार.
करो. But yeah, so
What
basically what
about
happened was
milk and roti?
Mhm. Somewhat similar. So it's like we used to give them milk. Then they used to have rice and curd. So it's
Right.
like they used to
Oh,
love curd. Even my dog right now, she loves curd.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah,
usko
they
de do,
love
she'll
curd.
keep eating it.
Yeah,
Oh
they're not
yeah, even
vegan.
my dog
Curd
in
is
my
good for
home.
them. Milk is not good for them. Do you know that?
Yeah, yeah. So it's
Milk
like
Milk,
we
yeah,
no, it depends actually. If you boil it up to a certain point and then
yeah.
give it to them, then it's fine.
Boil it up.
yeah,
Even
yeah.
if it is kacha, you have to dilute it a
But
little.
not buffalo milk
Yeah,
that
dilute
we,
curd.
but not buffalo milk
Only
that we
cow
Yeah,
ka
actually
milk.
Cow
use
milk.
in, yeah,
yeah,
in
Basically, you
Hyderabad.
have to boil the milk, and then what I do is I boil it and I keep it
Mhm.
in the fridge. And then when it's cold, I give it to them. And they enjoy cold milk because, of course, already
Yes.
hot bodied होते हैं,
नहीं,
yeah,
वहाँ
They
पे
enjoy the
actually
milk.
it was in Ooty when we had them. So उन लोग
Okay.
के लिए it was fine. It's like slight lukewarm milk. They used to love it. And
yeah.
then obviously वो viscous आता ही है. So we were like
Yeah.
उनको उतना दे ही देते हैं चलेगा.
Well,
Viscose is good for them because it has certain things which helps them
Yeah.
also with the fur and stuff.
Yep.
yeah.
So I do give them
But
Viscose, but
packaged मेरे को समझ नहीं आता. I mean, in fact, these guys generally don't like it. Both them, in fact, both the ladies, they don't like the packaged stuff. Oi, who's that?
This is my dog right now. Like Bubbles.
Bubbles. There is no angry way to say his name. There's
Yes.
literally no angry way to say this name.
what you're gonna have the entire pop of girls wala scene there?
Huh?
Have bubbles. You're
No,
gonna
that's a
bring in
male. That's a male dog.
No, no, this is
half
a female
of
dog.
them.
अच्छा.
He's
देखो
Keanu.
फिर से sit फिर
Oh,
से.
that's cute.
मैं
We are sharing
identification
cat
issues नहीं है.
photos.
Bubbles is a very unisex name. Huh? This is not. This is no argument in this. This is a very
No, no, we should, cancel Siddharth here.
what go
Hey,
cancel
Nico is
for.
here.
No,
I can't
Oh,
even
this
imagine
Ah,
that we will not be drunk in the
this
same place.
one is biscuit. It's
all
Mhm.
right.
year old. This is pumpkin. She's 1.5, and that's the what the heck? The baby pumpkin. I don't know
What's
if
her
you guys
name?
can see it. His
What's the
name
baby?
is we're still figuring out, but we have named him Rabbit because he
Rabbit.
jumps around. He actually hops around like a bunny. So
Whiskey.
And this
yes,
used
Oh.
to be Keanu's favorite place to hang out.
Oh, I remember his favorite place
Janus.
to hang out. That was right under your arms while you were playing Warzone. But no, that is the one I remember. His place was so that happened. By the way, I mean,
Oh yeah.
even if you want to cancel out, by the way, go far ahead if you want to. Like, go ahead and do that because the whole cancellation bit was already happening when we were talking about how NickMercs also got cancelled because of something like this. We were talking about how
Mm.
he
Yeah.
he wanted to speak to. I think he was speaking in a thread on a Twitter thread. He just said, "Leave the kids alone," and
Mhm.
that
What is this?
was
Yeah.
I think
That's Fiona.
based off of one person's tweet on the fact that there was some sort of a scuffle that was going on between two factions. One was all LGBTQ plus community, and the other one was uh, the other one was the parents of the children who didn't want their children to be part of that. So
Yep.
the kind of understanding that I had that he's also a new father, and he was trying to put his foot forward, like foot down, saying he doesn't want to be a part of this. So what do you guys think? I mean, I especially figured out that this he has a point, but
Mm.
the kind of things he had to say, and then also we can't ask our dogs and cats how they identify. So I think the same principle can also apply to the human species, the Homo sapiens. What do you think?
Okay. Personally, I would say that I am not gonna say that Nick Merckx was wrong. He was completely right in his thoughts, in his mind, because I I believe that a child, a baby, say from the age of 1 till the age of 18 till they go out for college on their own. They are dependent on their parents, right?
Yep.
And it's up to their parents how they want their child to be brought up.
Yeah.
Now, talking about students kids who are in kindergarten,
Right.
upper kindergarten, that's where these issues are happening.
Right.
Mm.
We've seen reels, we have seen videos where there are drag shows being conducted in the school in front of the kids.
Yeah.
I'm talking about preschool kids. They're not even in
Yeah.
school. Preschool kids.
Yeah.
This is the time when they're supposed to be learning certain things like learning alphabets, learning about schools, learning how to write, how to read, all those things. They're not supposed to be learning about gender and gender difference. Because they will learn about it when the time is right. There's always some a time for something, right? Imagine हम लोग स्कूल में थे and हमें instead of teaching ABCD or teaching the Hindi language, they were teaching how to dress up like a drag queen, how to work like a drag queen. It's something not. It is something that um, uh, a parent from the LGBTQ plus community might say it's okay. That is something that a straight parent won't look up to because they don't want their kids to start talking about these things. I'm not saying that it's wrong or something, but I'm saying that is not the age for the kids to learn about uh, gender difference and about all these things.
That makes sense.
So
Yeah. And that.
if I was in NickMercs' place, I would say the same thing. I don't have a child yet, and if in the future I am moving to states, I am moving to the hot zone. So if my child goes to school,
Yeah.
and if there is something of the sort happening, I will, there will be a backlash from my side. Backlash
Yeah.
for certain things to happen. I'm not saying that I'm gonna have a backlash against the beliefs of the people.
Yeah.
I'm
Mm.
not saying I don't support, I don't respect these people.
Yeah.
Mm.
I do. I have friends who are gay. I have friends who are lesbians. I have transgender friends. I never disrespected them, but I would say don't push your beliefs onto us. Like we don't push our beliefs onto you. Respecting you, you have to respect us as well. You know.
Yeah. That's an
Fair
interesting
point.
perspective. Fair point as well. In fact, the perspective that you just put up is what exactly is the perspective of the parents at the same time on the ground as well. But I mean, let's have it from somebody who's been part of that parade. Not that particular parade, but who's been part of a parade. So I think Hack would be the better
Oh,
person.
me. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, no, the thing I've observed right now, with all these different conversations that are happening around the same topic, right,
Yeah.
is that people don't know exactly what's happening and they are getting confused or rather mixing situations together.
Okay.
The argument that happened in that school in US was not related to a drag show or not related to a parade. The school was proposing that they would accept or rather celebrate Pride Month. Okay, so that was the discussion that was happening, and
Mm-hmm.
the parents who were conservative or conservative had conservative opinions, they were against it.
Mm.
There were other parents who were for it. That included people who were from the LGBT community. That included people who were liberals as well, right?
Yeah.
So
Just
it
plain
was a
allies.
clash of ideologies and politics, basically. That was what exactly was happening over there.
Right.
And a majority of the people were, sponsoring various things in the school. So they were those were the people who actually had the voice in this particular fight.
Okay.
And there was no drag show happening at that point of time, Bunny. There was, the that image was
I
from a
know that.
different
I know
situation,
that.
right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
know that. I just put out
Yeah.
something
agreed, agreed.
No, I mean
I
there have
respect
been
your
saying
issues as
that
opinion.
well. Yeah.
yes, there have
Exactly,
been issues. I stated that. Yeah.
exactly. I'm saying the same thing, but as a I've seen in the parade, right? There were people who were dressed as furries. There were people who were dressed as bunnies and other stuff. Even some people were almost, in those BDSM kind of clothes and everything. And I've seen kids interact with them. The kids don't have anything evil in their mind yet. They don't know anything yet. So they were plainly going and asking people, "Hey, are you supposed to be a wolf or a tiger?" Like that, you know.
Yeah.
They're just interacting like that. The kids will not have anything evil. The actual people who had reservations about kids interacting with them were people who like us who think negatively, right? I mean, if you have a negative thought in your head, or kids should not interact with them because it is related to sex or something like that, then that thought process starts. That's what I felt. But yeah, I mean, if you do not want your kids to interact with them, it's fine. It's up to you. They're your kids, of course. Um, and nobody from that parade I saw were trying to actively coax kids to come to them or something like that. They were just having their own thing going on. And
Yeah.
yeah, so they were literally having a good time. That's what I could see. The kids were there, they were part of the parade, they were on the floats and everything. They were just dancing to the music, they were just having fun like any other kid would. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, on the other hand, coming back to that's related to the parade. Coming back to the topic that what NickMercs commented on was, again going back to the topic where the people who were protesting against the school announcing, the Pride Month was that they were saying that I don't. There is no way to have a discussion about gender or same-sex parents and other things without discussing sex with kids. That
Yep.
was their point of view. The counter argument was we are just not talking about sex to the kids. The storybooks that the school principal actually posted a picture of was like, why do I have two mommies? Why do I have two daddies? Like that, right? They had drilled down the subject matter to a basic story where a kid could understand. There was no description of sex. There was nothing about anything else in that matter. On the other hand, from third grade onwards, in the same school, sex education is a mandatory subject. Why?
Okay.
Because they teach you. I mean, from third, they won't actually teach you about literally about intercourse and other stuff, but they will try to tell you that if a guy comes and touches you inappropriately in your personal spot or like that close area, you should shout. You should let people know. You should not let him do that. Right? These are the kind of education that people are already being given because of the number of weirdos that we have in this world, pedophiles and other people, who take advantage of that. You might have seen the number of news articles and other stuff happening in India too. The same thing. If our kids were taught about that stuff, not literally about having sex or anything, just how to be careful with these kind of assholes who are living around, our kids would have a better life, right? That is
Yep.
what exactly is already being taught in schools. Now, what is the fault in teaching them why a kid has two mummies? Because that is where the core reason comes in, the bullying. The kids who have like mom and dad, like who have a Catholic upbringing, right? I mean, just normal conservative upbringing. They are being, told at home, don't play with that kid. He has two moms, right? And these kids form a group and bully that particular kid. Why should he suffer? He's also a kid. He has equal right to have an education in a
Yeah.
public school. He's there. Even if he has two moms or two dads,
Yeah.
he should not suffer because of that. He didn't choose that. He didn't choose to have two moms or two moms, dads, right? Why should he get bullied? So that is the reason why this education, I feel, is very important.
But isn't
And
that? Sorry. Yeah. Please complete.
yeah,
Complete.
sorry. Go ahead. And
Complete.
on the other hand, what I was ending it with was, on the other hand, the conservatives feel that it should not be included because
Yeah.
it is against. See, the ultimate argument that they made that day was it's against natural law. It's against what Jesus proposed.
See,
Now go ahead.
keeping religions aside, there is always. I mean, this is a very categorical issue that has been talked about over the years. These guys have not been. I mean, this issue has not been around like since 2020, right? This issue has been around since fairly over 3 decades or 4 decades. I'm pretty sure this has been that, and there has been like a categorical approach to it. So if somebody who's been like there have been parents, same-sex parents, who've been living together, adopted a kid, done their usual bidding. So if somebody has already done this, so I think the categorical issues need categorical solutions. If a child of a same-sex parent is supposed to be taught why he has or she has um, uh, issues, I mean, that they're facing, like they're getting questions like why one kid has two same-sex parents, so I have two mommies or two daddies. They need to be taught in a separate environment so that they understand their own issues separately, because this is not exactly a blanket issue or a blanket solution either way. So you cannot put a blanket to it, is what I feel as well, which I think was what NickMercs understanding was, because his child does not have that. So there is no point of teaching the same thing to his kid, right? So which makes a lot of sense. If tomorrow I'm gonna have a child,
No. The argument said is that the other kid, for example, NickMercs' kid, is the one who's going to bully these kids.
So I was going to come to that.
He's
So
the one who's not going to understand why that particular kid has two same-sex parents.
I was going to come to that. So if the bully is going to be from the straight couple's family, then that again is a categorical issue, right? So you have to give that particular education about not bullying, and also we already have anti-bullying solutions in place. We have anti-bullying rules in place and regulations in place. So that thing is already taken care of. Mostly the enforcement needs to be, of course, there, because the bullying is bullying regardless of where it goes or whatever the trigger is. Bullying is still bullying, right? So that needs to be taken care of separately. But on the other hand, when it comes to teaching kids about transgenderism, that if they don't feel like, and this has been the case, the whole issue that came around was kids were being taught that it's okay to feel in a certain way and that you might be that, So again, if a boy wakes up the other day, he wants to try, and I'm pretty sure 99% of boys have tried wearing a sari in some time or the other in their life, and that's okay. But that doesn't mean that they will turn into somebody who can wear sari full time. So that's one side. And I think,
No, how can you say that? That's what I'm asking.
How can I say
it's up
what?
to the kid, right? It's up to the kid, right?
That's what I'm saying.
No, but
That's
I'm
what
gonna add
even
to that.
Yeah.
Kid's brain is not as mature to understand those.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, right?
Totally
So
agree.
that's exactly
Totally
where the
agree. I'm
problem.
not fighting against that point at all.
Yeah.
The only concept I want to draw a parallel with this,
Yeah.
let's talk about some of the things that we have taught kids over the time. Okay. Let's start with our own very Indian caste system, the beautiful caste system that we have, right? Initially, there were so much of a division in India that at certain point of time where uh, the lower class people could even hardly afford to be in the same school as the upper class people, right?
Okay.
Same way, uh, like eventually that went away. Initially, what was the thought process? Let the shudras parents tell the shudra kids that you are not supposed to touch them, you're not supposed to play with
That
them, you're not supposed to eat their food, right? That was the thought process. Then how it evolved, later on the same teachings were given to higher class kids as well. Their parents started teaching them that it is not good to segregate based on caste. You should be okay, you can play with anyone you want,
so this is
you know.
when this is exactly when this went in a very different direction, but initial that was never the
No, it's
premise
not a
of the
different
caste
direction.
system.
I'm trying to draw parallel in the process of evolution of a thought process. That's all.
Yeah.
So that was during the caste, that was segregation of caste. Same kind of education was given during the time of the apartheid, right? The segregation between the whites and the blacks. The same kind of education. The blacks kids were supposed to be taught separately in different schools.
Yeah.
They had their own set of rules. But eventually everything went away because people evolved.
Yeah.
The thought processes evolved.
Yeah.
So right now the protests, they were protests back then for the idea of black and white people sitting in the same class.
You
Then
just
the
yeah.
evolution happened. People learned around the topic. Everyone started accepting that it is okay to have different colored people in our class.
Yeah.
Same is going to happen with this thing. That is what I'm trying to tell you. It
Yeah.
is just like any
Yeah.
scientific idea that comes out.
Yeah.
No,
What are you
but
saying?
okay, Hack. I'm going to add to this. Okay, so let's talk about the times when there was a huge racism between the whites and the blacks in America itself,
Before we
and
get to
now
that,
it's
before we get to the racism side, we
yeah,
also
yeah,
have one person who hasn't spoken about his opinion, and he has been
yeah.
flashing his
He's just listening
mustaches,
to us.
and he's been flashing his mustache all this while. So you want to?
I've done nothing. I'm just sitting here listening
That's
to you guys.
exactly the problem. So go ahead,
You
please tell
have
them.
to talk.
You have to say what
Mhm.
you feel, because you had an interesting point of view as well. You wanted to
Mhm.
speak about how you want to be left out of this conversation as well, and I think that's categorically very precious. So tell me more about what do you think?
See, the thing is, I get both the perspectives, like, both sides. And to be honest, I'm like pretty neutral with it because, as Hack was saying earlier as well, that it's like at a point it becomes like, normal and people just accept it after a point. But till it gets to that point, it's just like a bit awkward for a few people, and few people are like going overboard with it. And it's like I've seen so many different, what's it called? I've seen a lot of different videos as well, like short clips of people, talking about random things, like trying to, promote it's like all this LGBTQ community in a weird way.
Yeah,
Whereas there are actual genuine people who care about the community as well and want the community to grow.
of course.
So
Exactly.
it's like, to me, I'm just like, see, I don't really get into all this because I just, I want to keep life simple.
Yeah,
There's already,
Great.
it's like male, female. I'm like, okay,
that's
utne
it.
mein,
Period.
because see, there's a one video which just comes to my head,
Yeah,
and I'm not saying anything against trans people or anything like that.
yeah,
All I'm saying is I saw this video where this guy's like, if there's one male and 100 females in on a deserted island, after let's say maybe a century, the the amount of the ratio of people over there will almost be equal to the man and woman will be same, like they'll prosper and they'll probably make what's it called, it's like they'll basically like reproduce, and they'll probably just make the island bigger, better, whatever. Whereas after maybe a few centuries it'll keep going on.
mm.
Whereas if they put a male and then 100 transgender people, you won't really be able to like reproduce, and like after
I'm
100
sorry.
years all you'll see in that deserted island will be probably skulls.
Yeah.
So it's like when I saw that, I'm like, he does make sense.
That is
It's like,
exactly the.
Yeah, before
That's
you
ex-
continue, Sid,
yeah.
I just want to bring notice to your notice the chat that
mm,
has just
I
typed.
saw.
He's like, wait. First of all, where can I find the island?
Yeah, yeah. Most of the single
He's
dudes
more
are
worried
thinking
about
like
the
that.
island now.
Most of the single dudes are thinking like that. Where can I find that island, my man? I mean, so that's exactly my point, right? So when I wanted to understand this whole issue, I realized there are LGB guys
mhm.
who are in it with nothing but their their fascination, their preference of their own sexuality, and that's that. Period. They love a certain type of genitalia. They like a certain type of person, and that's where they draw the line. There is no going back and forth. And if there is one, that is called being bisexual. That's that. So that's where they drew the line. Now comes the rest of the alphabets that are in the string of LGBTQ plus QIA plus plus. I don't know. Sorry, my bad. I just don't know that much about the plus plus and the rest of the letters. So that's what exactly I realized was that hey, you also Hack literally proved what exactly I wanted to say. That there was this time when there was this uh, education was given to the people who were divided. There was this time the division was automatically produced, and then we had to keep everybody in a different place, and then we had to teach them the whole difference of what was happening. Like there were certain differences between the two communities, two sets of people, and then they could, once they understood this is the issue, then they started accepting each other, and that's how it was. This is what exactly I was saying, that in this current situation, I think it is better that they get taught about the differences separately, and then they would, once they're taught separately, then they can start accepting each other, because I think once they would understand what is happening on the other side of the grass, they might see the grass greener or not, and then that's their choice. But again, when in the nascent stage of life, when I was talking about how the younger generation does try. In fact, there are certain kids around my neighborhood as well. They feel like walking like a woman as well. They just go, and they're very feminine like that, and then that's how they want to be for a very short while. Doesn't mean that they get pushed over the edge. That's the kind of point I was making. So I mean, if the person wants to do that, let them grow, let them do that. Once they reach a particular age of decision making, that's exactly what happens. That's exactly what we have done so far with the act of getting married, act of driving, act of getting a license to thrill, act of doing so many things. In fact, drinking, getting married, driving, filing taxes. This is also a very life-changing topic at the same time, life-altering. In fact, I think
You're basically saying it's like trial and error method. Like you try it, you like it,
try it till
you
the
go with it.
point.
Otherwise,
Try it till the point where you want to settle with it permanently. So until the age of 18 or 21, whichever science sees it best, and even the governments and the parents, everybody's consensus together, I think up till that point, nothing should be shoved down their throat, which is, I think, what NickMercs was also doing. So, I mean, that's exactly.
That's the thing, right? I
Wanna?
mean, nobody's. Sorry, Bunny, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. You continue. I'll add after that. Quite
Yeah, so
big. So yeah.
that's I mean,
So
getting shoving
that's the
down the throat.
point. So
Yeah.
that nobody is shoving down anybody's throat anything over
What was
here.
the brawl about?
They're just that is the thing I'm telling you about. The information is being provided. What you do with it is up to you.
Yeah.
It's just like a see. I sometimes I can't understand why people have to fight against a change or something like that. If you are playing a video game, let's say you're playing Cyberpunk,
Yeah.
right? Have you played Cyberpunk? Any
No.
of you here? So you would
I
probably
have.
understand. Or if you even if you're not, any other game for that matter,
Yeah.
you see so many characters going about their own stuff in that
Yeah.
particular game, right?
Yeah.
You're just walking through a street, just example. You're doing your stuff. You're not bothered about what that person is doing or what that person is selling or whatever he's
True.
showing or doing anything, right? Um, all you're worried about is your mission, your game, your thing, your life. Just why don't you follow that in your own path? Swag beautifully said that. You do you. I'll do me.
Exactly. Even in fact,
Exactly.
that's where
So
the
Look,
point
there
was,
is
right?
I'm gonna add to
the
that.
information needs to be provided. That is what is the thing. People need to be told at the whatever age it is that information is available. If you want to go look it up, you can. There
Yeah.
is these books again. They were not part of a curriculum. They were just being kept in the fucking library where people who wants to know they can go and pick it up and read. They were not being shoved down anybody's throat. They were not being taught a particular course that
Well,
differentiates this also.
okay, let me put it this way. America is right now worried about all of these things happening to their children, correct? And also the fact that they're also envying Chinese kids because Chinese kids want to be astronauts and whatnot, and that's what exactly they're making the reels of these days. So when it comes to creating a parade out of certain things, when you have to put it on the street as well, I think it's lesser. I mean, I don't think there is a more different way of pushing certain agendas to a certain amount of people, number of people, right? So which is what exactly what it was. Now on to Bunny. Bunny was what was trying to add to this.
Okay, there are. Okay, I'm gonna add two hacks part first. We have also grown from a certain age to what we are now. Right? We also learned it from somewhere, not through our parents, not from school. We might have learned it from school because our friends used to talk about it. We learned it from the movies. We learned it from the books. We accepted it. Now, the part where you're saying nobody is shoving it down somebody's throat. So the thing is that we see that brawl as a brawl, but that brawl must have started for some other reason as well. If you take the other perspectives, where there are literally court cases going on, where the LGBTQ community people are fighting court cases. They're fighting their deans in the college. They're fighting their supervisors in the college. They are blocking the roads because they're mad about something. That is shoving down. If you don't accept that, they call you a homophobe or a transphobe. That is not normal, you know.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah,
The thing is that there might be a reason why that brawl might have happened.
yeah,
All these things happening in the schools right now, especially in America and in the States, is that students are being the things are being shoved on them. I'm
yeah,
not going to deny that. Not only on them, also on the parents, and there is some sort of frustration. We respect you, we accept you. Isn't that enough for you guys? We accept that you celebrate Pride Month. Pride Month has been going on for quite a while. It has been years. It's not new. And okay, there is also nothing wrong with the school celebrating Pride. There is
yeah,
certain thing called um, uh, protecting a child from bullying, protecting a child from certain uh, there's a change of gender or something of that sort. I believe brawl can happen. The bullying can happen from a parent that is not ready to accept. In today's world, I would say 99.9% of the people accept, okay, there are
yeah,
people who are not just male and women.
yeah,
Okay, our generation, our kids are gonna be there. We are gonna accept that, yeah, there are students going to the same school where our kids are going, and they have either two moms or two dads,
yeah,
right? Or transgender parents, and we are going to teach them. If my kid comes to me and asks me that, mom, why does that particular child has two mothers or two fathers, and I'm going to teach my kid that there's a reason behind it. They have their preferences. They have two mothers because those two mothers fell in love with each other. There is something called love, of course.
yeah,
Those two people fell in love with each other. They accepted each other, and we should not judge them.
yeah,
Then the fact that how things have been going on personally, um, making us straight people accept, that is what is bringing in the fight, the brawl, and that is what's gonna stop people from accepting the entire community.
exactly.
We accepted you a long time back.
Yeah, I mean these guys have
You're
been here.
living there. You are allowed to vote. You're allowed to give taxes. You're allowed jobs that straight people are doing. Who Okay, there might be some sort of bullying even among grown-ups, because of course this is not normal, and I'm talking about the fact that our parents or our grandparents are the ones who are going to look down upon it, but we are never going to look down upon it because we grew up that way. We grew up with that mindset. We have to keep a keep an open mindset, and we have to accept certain things.
Yeah.
That is what I'm talking
But
about, Bunny. The entire thing these people are fighting against is the terms that you've just used, right? You're allowing them to exist in the society. You're allowing them to take straight people jobs. Who are you to allow it? That is the
you're not
question they're all
allowing
asking.
them.
Exactly.
I'm saying
That
that,
was worded in a different way. It's
yeah,
so it's like again it's the same thing. Like the upper class people allowing the lower class people to enter the temple.
So that's the
It's
kind of
there is
yeah, the equation
so
is
the
completely off.
it's not allowing.
Yeah,
That's the term
the
I
equation.
don't like
might
in
have
that particular
used a
argument.
wrong
I
word,
understand.
but
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, but the entire meaning changed when you use that particular word.
yes,
Yeah,
it did.
but
Yeah,
again, it's I totally understand. See, that is the reason I'm what I'm proposing or what I'm talking here today. I'm trying to paint a very neutral picture of everything, and as you perfectly said, there are bad elements on either side. Like the people who just make a scene because they want attention, right?
yep.
There are people are from both the communities who are blocking roads and doing all kinds of nonsense stuff. That is to be frowned upon by anyone.
Vandalism.
That exactly, that is not encouraged. That is, be it normal people or be it LGBTQ people, that doesn't give anybody or any community a particular right to do that, because those are all illegal activities in the eyes of law, whichever community you belong to, whichever caste or sect you belong to, right? So that's open for interpretation. The
Yeah.
only thing is, uh, as you said, nothing all these education elements are optional, they are not mandatory. And you brought a beautiful topic about your parents and their education at that point of time and compared that to us. Um, I mean, if you think about it, just take it an example from our grandparents' time, right? It would have been too late in. I mean, I'm just assuming when they got to know about sex and other stuff by their friends and other shit, right? That is how you people used to know in those days, right? By talking to friends, and that's how we also know. Um, and just compare the number of. I mean, I've seen a trend. That is what I'm trying to bring forward here. Um, my grandfather said when I spoke with him that he had his first kiss after he got married. My dad said it was with my mom, but it was just before he got married. Me, personally, I'm okay to share this information, but it was way before I got married and way before I did not even get married to the same girl.
5 year old.
That exactly, that is changing. People
No, no, no. I was talking about
nowadays.
you.
Oh, okay. No, I thought it was you, and I was
No,
like,
no,
I don't know to judge.
I was making a joke.
Wow.
Dude, just don't pop out like that.
My bad. I'll go back to just looking at the screen.
No, no, no.
No,
That was
no.
good. But again,
No, but what I'm
See,
saying is
yeah.
that look, we all of us, four people are sitting over here. We're all gonna have different beliefs, and we're still gonna accept each other. Still gonna be
yes.
friends,
Yeah.
right?
So
The thing is
accept was the
here that
word, not the allow. The word was not allow, but accept.
yes,
We've
I said
accepted. Yeah,
accept.
yeah.
Let me ask you one thing. That thousands of years from now, and I believe a lot of people have said this, I've asked this, that thousands of years from now, people are fighting on gender right now when there are bigger issues to be fought about: economy, jobs, a lot of things, right? But keeping that aside, people are fighting on genders. People are fighting about acceptance, not allowance, acceptance. Um, what I don't understand is that as a person, let's just say there are two people, one is straight and one is not, right? So this guy comes in and he says that, dude, I'm straight. And the person from the LGBT community says, I don't know. How can you say you are straight? So is this person gonna call that person heterophobe? No, right? If we say no for something, we are allowed to say no. it's our belief, it's our thought process. If we don't accept something, it doesn't make us homophobe. We're not shaming you. We're not you know saying shooing you off, booing you off. I said, like, I personally, what happened on Twitter last week, I had to delete my tweet because I have my visa process going on. I don't really want any trouble at this moment. So the thing is that the entire NickMercs thing going on. One of my streamer, I would have said friend, but the way he acted after that, and now I would say fellow streamer, said fuck NickMercs and fuck every single homophobe. That is not a way to
That's
react.
exactly what I'm saying, right? So I mean, but you use very
Absolutely.
two interesting words here, and I realize that that's exactly what's happening. We're trying to accept, and we are accepting. We have already accepted as well a bunch of people, while the fuck acceptance from the other side, but in fact they are not even allowing us to say what we want to say. So that's
ऐसे थोड़ा
exactly
थोड़ी नहीं
that's
हो सकता है कि
that's the societal paradox we're living in right now, because you know we are supposed to
एग्जैक्टली
accept.
ऐसे नहीं हो सकता ना कि you basically want all these changes to happen, and we
Yeah,
are happily accepting it
yeah, I
because
mean that's
you
what I'm
are
saying,
human
right?
as
Two
well.
very
You
specific.
have feelings, you are a human, you have a thought process,
Yeah,
and you were born in this world. We are nobody to say anything to you. That
yeah,
doesn't
See,
matter
that is
that
the
the
thing.
other person in front of you is going to have the same thought process as you. हमारे अपने पेरेंट्स के साथ सेम थॉट प्रोसेस नहीं होता है, आप तो बहुत एक स्ट्रेंजर के पास जाके कह रहे हैं ये चीज. एंड देन व्हेन आई एक्सप्लेन्ड that very tweet what Nick Merce's tweet was about, they termed me homophobe. And there were
wow.
10 different people from the LGBTQ community calling me a homophobe, strangers calling me homophobe who have
Yeah,
never
yeah,
talked to me.
that's exactly
This
what I
is
was saying.
what is putting me off.
This
It's like,
is
I, this is absurd.
this is what shoving down the throat is all about recently, right now, right? So this
Exactly.
is this is
See,
this
Now,
is
this
where now
my
is
the
question
issue
was,
is.
I'm sorry to
I,
cut you guys off, but my question was, thousands of years from now, if people want to term me homophobe, they can, because this is a very truthful question. Is that thousands of years from now, people who have been buried. I'm not talking about people who are Hindus because we have cremation in Hinduism. People who have been buried, be it that they were transgender in their lifetime, be it they were bisexual, be it they were gay or lesbian, they're going to be termed as gender, as of bisexual, transgender, all those things. Looking at the pelvic bone, you can only tell the difference of the pelvic bone size, that this is a male and this is a female. This is a
Yeah,
very different topic we might go upon. The shoving down part and the brawl that happened
yeah,
was brawl that happened, in my belief, was a result of what's been happening. The things have been shoved down upon the throats of people. We are accepting everything, but it's not like that we are going to start living like you.
and
okay,
the
so I also
yeah,
have a opinion on exact like this particular thing,
yeah.
where when Bunny was saying if
You were supposed
there's
to speak very nice. You took some chance right now. Props to
if
you,
the
by the
Don't interrupt. Let him speak.
so yeah, so basically it's like, let's say,
Shut down
as
again.
Bunny was saying, it's like you have one straight person and one, let's say, who's gay or whatever. So it's like, for me, it's like pretty similar to, for example, let's say there's a boy and a girl, and let's say the girl is interested in the boy, and she comes and proposes. So if the same kind of thing happens over here as well, like the straight person, gets approached by, let's say, a transgender person or a gay person, and they come and it's profess their love to you. You can, it's like similar to what happens now. You can either friends on them or just reject them.
yeah,
It's like you don't really have to be like, okay, fine, I'll marry you, or whatever. You'll
yeah,
get into a relationship. It's
right,
completely up to you if you want to say it or not.
right.
And just by saying, I don't want to have a relationship with you, doesn't mean you're homophobic.
Now that's exactly what I'm
It's like
saying. So this is what is
And then
happening.
there's
Like
one more thing. I'm
there
sorry, Siddharth.
is
There's one more thing that happens is LGBTQIA plus, right? So lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, questioning, intersex, asexual, non-binary, and then this plus. What happened
what
is
is
I said I
plus.
have a lot of queer friends. Plus is a combination of words like different gender identities and sexual orientations. Right? That's
Oh,
what plus
the
is. So
abrosexual, if you will, eh?
you see,
kind of
okay,
like
so
that.
this is what I mean. Ye sab na, it's like
Too much.
some similar to maths to me. Like I don't give a shit about maths. I don't really care about this either. Mainly because I don't understand it.
Yeah.
See, for me, you can, do whatever you want, man. Like just leave me alone. Is all I'm saying. It's
And
like
you
Exactly.
you
I
you
have
represent
no issues.
99% of the cases, by the way.
See, all I'm saying is, for example, now let's say, Siddharth was bisexual or whatever.
No, I
Like
was not.
when I'm having, I'm just saying, I'm not, it's
I
just a,
was never bisexual.
but yeah, it's like if people are, coming up to me because I've had this, happen to
I'm
me
only a
where they
bicyclist.
start, but yeah, it's like they start
उससे
with
पहले
gender.
सिंगल उससे पहले एक ऑपोजिट तो जाने दे फिर वो सोचेगा बाहर जाना है कि नहीं जाना भी सिंगल बैठा है वो
Go for it. Complete your sentence, please.
Oh yeah,
Imagine.
coming back to the sentence, it's like people start with by saying, start by saying I am bisexual, blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, fine. खाना क्या है वो तो बताओ.
Khana?
हाँ, it's like for example, we've gone out to, have lunch with a group of
Okay,
people,
like that,
and
yeah.
they're like, I'm bisexual, I'm gay, wo. I'm like, dude, we have come here to eat. ठीक है? First, let's
Yes.
order food. Then जो बात करना है करो.
Who is going to eat the
Maybe I'll
Context is
sausage?
listen to
very
you, or
important.
maybe I won't.
Context is very important. Give the context
Context
first and
first,
then
yeah.
yes
Exactly.
yes
I'm like,
please
Khana kya hai? Why are you guys eating each other right now, man? What is happening?
But
Because.
sick.
now
Now the mood is lighted.
the thing is that
exactly like Rahiro said, whatever as you also said, Swag,
Hmm.
you don't have to memorize these things. You just need to know that. And talking about several things, I wanted to talk from a while now. Acceptance and everything, right? The problem with acceptance and general human behavior over the years. I am talking in a very, very general way, just how human beings behave, right? As you said, wars, the countries, the oil fights, everything. These are not the things I focus on. These are not the things that I think are a problem to humankind. Even these things are very trivial. Whether you are, bisexual or you're heterosexual or whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. The problem is after a certain amount of years, you won't have enough water to drink. The problem, that is the real problem humankind faces.
Exactly.
Those are the things that people should focus on. These things, what NickMercs said on social media, or what this guy said on social media, or how
exactly
people have reacted to you on social media, it's nothing. Doesn't
No,
really
so.
matter.
No, so here's
Uh,
another thing which I have actually seen in the past few years is people don't really do stuff like they're obviously, no, I'm not talking about everyone, but most of the people that I've seen, they're not like genuine. So it's like they try to put this kind of thing on cam or maybe even put photos on Insta and whatnot just to get that social recognition kind of thing. Whereas for me, I don't really take many photos. And people
Exactly.
ask me, do you have Insta? Do you have this is blah blah blah. I'm like, I have Discord, I have WhatsApp. You wanna, get in touch with those.
Yeah.
I'm not really interested in, posing photo, putting photos, posing for photos, editing it, making, a video or whatnot. I got into streaming just because I liked it. Like I like the, chat interaction that I used to have and the fact that I'm playing a game, doing something which I like. Whereas, all this social media stuff, where you have to put a photo every day, like Snapchat and stuff, people have like thousand something streaks going on. So it's like those kind of things is what weirds me out in a way because I'm like, see, again, you do you. I don't really care about putting those photos. Like people literally tell me, you should put photos, this and that. You'll get comments and whatnot. I'm like, I am not here for getting other people's comments. The people who are close to me, if I am happy with them and they're happy with me. It's a healthy relationship. I'm more than happy with that.
Yeah.
Right, so,
Another thing I wanted
so-
to talk about, just adding to it. Sorry, Sid.
yeah, go for it.
The
Go
point
ahead, go
about
ahead.
acceptance. Point about acceptance. There are tons of people who claim that I've accepted this, I've accepted that, and everything. But I see notice a clear difference between that. There are people who say they have accepted something or they have accepted people or different, be it caste or sex or whatever it is. They say and do it as if they're doing a favor to that community. They
Nobody's
still
doing that.
have that emotion, they still have that moral superiority over there. Okay, that
No.
is not acceptance. Acceptance is telling yourself that you're okay with that particular thing. That is the difference I find in a lot of people. I'm not talking about this panel, I'm not at all talking about anybody here.
Yeah.
That is generally what I observed in human nature, is that the acceptance is also of a dual nature here, right? There are tons of people who say and do that. We have accepted you into this community. It doesn't mean that not doing any favor. You're just accepting that belief in your mind. That's it.
Uh, so,
That should be the real thing.
This is the exact thing I said. It's like I'm not telling people, yeah, I have accepted,
Correct.
you or whatever. I'm just like, cool.
Cool.
you
You do
do
you.
a,
Let me do what
Exactly.
I'm doing.
Exactly.
ना तेरे
Like you don't
आने
have
की
to
Live and
खुशी
be.
let
ना तेरे
live.
जाने का गम. Basically.
Yeah.
ना तेरे
thing
आने की
is,
Live
the
and
खुशी.
let
thing
live.
is,
That's it.
it's not even about acceptance or allowing, right? Because of course, जैसे हम लोग जी रहे हैं, उनको भी जीना है, और हम उनको, मैं जीऊँ, तुम जियो, लाइफ चल रही है, right? Thing here is about beliefs, about a certain process of a person. You can't really term a person homophobic uh, by saying कि हो इसने कहा, I literally just wrote down I have queer friends, and you know what they said? Oh, she said that word. He said it. Oh my god! Like, what are you trying to prove? Why are you being so over dramatic? It
Exactly. I mean,
says
what happened to
it
you?
says on your very community's thing LGBTQIA plus, which says queer as well, and queer, I believe 10 years, 15 years back, gay and lesbian combined were queer. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody
Yeah.
remember that? Yeah, yeah. So the thing is that you are shaming me over a word, and you are unable to tell us what exactly are the general modifications, genetic, sorry, kind of modifications you guys are going for. I am reading, I have a page open right now. I'm reading the entire thing: lesbian, gay, bisexual. I understand that. Transgender, I understand that. Here, I mean, don't people come under queer, but no. We have non binary, gender fluid, and gender non conforming identities. Okay, I completely get it. What the heck is questioning?
Hmm?
What is questioning supposed to
They
be? Are you
still haven't
questioning that
decided.
whether you,
They're undecided.
so what are you,
Then
like an
what is
alien?
gender fluid?
I get it. Exactly.
Gender
What is
fluid
gender?
is
No,
they
gender
can.
fluid is by kind
It's
of like
simple.
either
That
yeah, like
Gender
either you like guys
non-conforming.
or girls.
exactly. They don't want to be tied down to one gender.
So if you
That
can't
is.
That is
convince them,
questioning.
confuse
Then
them.
why do we have Q? That is the
Please stop
Q is
saying
both the
shit like that.
things.
No, this is exactly what is
But
confusing, right? There is nothing shitty about this. This is what exactly everybody's talking about.
we
I
have
mean,
No,
when we are
intersex.
talking,
Now,
no, I
isn't
mean, come on.
transgender
This is
intersex as
exactly
well?
what the
no.
acceptance was also talking about, right? So this
See,
is
I have just
this is what I'm
one
talking
thing
about
for this.
exactly, particularly. Just a second.
See,
Let me finish this.
mhm.
So now, if I am trying to convince myself of something, I have to risk asking stuff, right? So I have to risk offending somebody, so that I know and understand what I'm saying. You queer is confusion, as Rairo says in the chat as well, which is a lot of confusion. If you can't convince me, don't confuse me. That's the whole
No,
point
no,
of
that
that,
is the thing. That is the
right?
thing, Siddharth. The point
Right?
you're not understanding is they are pretty clear with the definitions. It is you who are
No,
getting confused.
if by
Exactly. Right? They
definition,
are not trying to confuse you.
if by
They are clear
definition
with
they are
what they
not,
are. They are clear with what the definition is. They are clear with everything. That is why they have come up with these segregations and
I
they are
am
classifying
open to
themselves.
that too. I'm not even saying that I
Yeah,
understand that they're clear with that. But if by definition they are not conforming to anything, there is no conclusive action that we can take. And if they say look left and I'm looking left and suddenly said the left meant right, what are you talking about? That's exactly what it's not. That's exactly
see,
where the
that
It's
is what
kind of
confusion
I'm
like
is.
trying to
saying
tell
the
you
earth is
again. It
flat.
is about them. It is not about you. That is what I'm trying to
Then
tell you.
why are we?
No, no, the
Why are we
statement you
getting?
made, the statement you
Why are
made
we
was
accepting? Or why are we
no, no,
get?
wait.
Yeah.
Just let me finish. The statement you said was, if you're what, if you can't convince me, you confuse me. No, that was they're not trying to convince you or anybody.
Yeah.
They are themselves confused. They are trying to convince themselves what they are. That is the point. That is why I said don't say statement like that because that is
Then,
incorrect.
But the thing
then,
here, Hack, is
then,
that what Sid is
exactly
trying to
what
say.
Nick. Just a sec. Let me finish this. If
Nobody
Yeah,
they,
is
yeah,
trying to
yeah.
if
convince you, Bunny, to tell
nobody,
them that they are
hold on. Let
thing,
me.
right? That's the point, right?
If they are confused, right?
Okay.
You just said they're confused, and that's what they're convincing themselves about. Correct? You just said it. Now, if
What?
they are, you just said it, no? That they are the ones who are confused, and they're trying to convince themselves about whatever they want to do in life in general, right? And
Right.
especially
Right.
and specifically talking about their own sexuality. Now,
Right.
if a parent like NickMercs says leave the children alone, means his child is not in that mental space where he knows what he needs. Now, if that confusion from the other side rubs off on a person who's absolutely okay with whatever he was doing in life, that's a parental a parental duty to stop from happening, right? So basically that's what he
Why
did.
stop from happening? That confusion is natural. That is part of human evolution. If that person is confused, let him be confused. It is his problem. Why are you worried about that?
I'm worried about my child getting confused.
First, get
That's
a girlfriend, okay?
no, I'm no. There's no. I mean,
No,
that's
again,
stop saying
that's a
shit
joke. I
like
mean,
that. So that's exactly what I'm trying to get to now.
No,
When
but the
I'm
thing
saying
here is,
is,
I get what
when
he's
my
trying to say.
child is not confused, then the that confusion should not rub off on my child, and that's what exactly I think.
it is not confusion, it is curiosity. That generally happens in people whether you get involved or not with your kids. Even if you're not involved with your kids, that naturally the thought will come
Yeah,
into
makes
their brain.
sense. But if the
Yeah, you
parent,
cannot stop everything as a parent. You cannot stop everything. You cannot control everything in your kid's life.
but that's
You have to
nobody
learn to
That's
else's.
accept that.
true.
That's nobody else's duty but for my own, right? So
It's
if
true, but
my
It's
then,
not a
my
duty.
yeah.
parent,
Okay.
if
Sit.
as a
Just
parent,
tell me one thing. Answer one question. At what age do you think a child should get a phone, mobile phone?
whenever they're responsible for it, a lot of people
That
skip.
does not
A
answer.
lot of that's what I'm saying, right?
Hmm.
Now
That's
you're
when
trying to confuse people.
no.
Hmm.
I'm not trying to confuse anybody here. No, let's not gang up. So that's what I'm trying to say. Once this shit happens, that
Hmm.
the kind of the person who is responsible for it, well, the person who is responsible with a particular device,
Hmm.
they get the device. I got a mobile phone. Mobile phone is completely different from sexuality and gender
No, no,
things,
no.
by the
I'm
way.
asking this
Yeah.
question for a particular reason. So I'm like,
So I
what?
got.
Let's say average.
Hmm?
Okay, what age did you get it?
I was 13 when I got my first phone.
Okay,
Yeah,
I was 16 when I got my first phone.
makes sense.
So
I was
and
married
the
when I got my first phone.
okay,
Okay.
but yeah, it's like my point
Difference.
being, it's like again, I saw this like video, and it does make sense to me. It's like if let's say a child or a toddler gets a phone now, and he can access it.
Yeah.
Okay, there's so much stuff in or on the internet that they have access to. You can't really put a parental thing at it because these days people like mostly kids, they intuitively just know what to do on the phone.
Hmm.
Like they can remove the parental control that you have already given to them.
Yeah.
Like people find ways and means to
Yeah.
like loopholes to get across it. So it's like if you give them a phone,
Yeah.
they get access to a lot of stuff, and it's like not just ki after a particular age milna chahiye. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you do get it, there's a lot of things on the internet, and I'm not just talking about like this particular topic. A lot of things on the internet that people can get access to, and if they उतने young age में उन लोग को वो सब मिल रहा है, it's like I don't know. It's obviously, responsibility of the parent, blah blah blah, whatnot. But at the end of the day, it's like they can get access outside of that place as well. They can go to, cyber cafes and whatnot with their friends, or their friends can show it to them. So it's like at one point you just get used to it.
That's
Like,
exactly what I was trying to get to, na Baba.
hmm,
Now, if
No,
something that's
his point was totally different
no,
from what you
I
said.
am I am trying to drive home a point before it getting interrupted. So that's what exactly I was saying. That if something like this is happening, that's
hmm,
the if a person is deviating from the ideal course of their life, that's their particular choice. But that's also driven by the people he's surrounded or she's surrounded by. Right now, if a person who's not going to uh, conform to the ideal course of life charted by his family and his
hmm,
elders, then I think that's how they would produce the results. That's what exactly we're talking about. If NickMercs has a path charted out for his child and he wants to go through, wants him or her to go through that, I think that's not just one parent. That's like a lot of parents, right? Now, and if the child falls off the wagon and gets into the confusion, okay, makes sense. But I'm not saying that that confusion he's prone to confusion that way, but uh, those confusions should not be forced upon anybody just because somebody else is going through that.
okay,
That's
so see, this has confused me now because I have one confusion. Okay,
go for it.
it's pretty actually simple
Yeah,
because people, call you heterophobe, homophobe, whatnot.
they can cancel
But
the one.
see, so for example, before all these terms were made, people were still scared of, let's say, heights. People were still scared of, spiders and whatnot. So even I have arachnophobia, especially with those what's it called, the spiders which look like a tarantula.
Yeah,
Okay, it's called arachnophobia.
yeah.
I'm scared of that. So what if there are actually kids who are scared of becoming gay?
So
It's
that's
like,
No,
straight.
no, no, no. I'm
They're,
gonna stop you there. I'm gonna
they're
stop you there.
straight
hmm,
people.
You can't be scared of such things. Okay, you'll be
why? See,
curious.
so I am scared of a spider. For a lot of
Are
people,
you
they can
scared
handle move
of?
around.
Are
Being
you
gay or
scared of being gay?
Not me,
Are
but
you
nee, nee,
scared of
I'm
being?
okay,
saying
okay.
that is also a thing
Story
that
time.
can
Okay,
happen.
You called for a
no,
story
no.
time. Now,
Okay.
this
That's
this
a
this
completely
has
different thing.
happened. Something I really
No,
completely
no, I'm
understand where you're coming.
saying, will that
Right.
be called
You're
homophobic then?
scared of arachnophobia, right? Can twist my.
Arachnophobia is spiders, not
I
this.
know, I know that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Can twist my fingers like
So,
spider.
so
Nee, because
Yeah,
All
that's
right,
the
story time.
only
all right.
phobia I have.
no,
And
no
I
money.
got to know about
No.
that when I was like 16, 17. Like
Yeah.
when we moved to Ooty,
Yeah.
that's when I got to know. Because whenever I see it, it's like I can kill it if I want to,
Yeah.
but
But you
it
want.
gives me the chills.
Of course. Killing gives
Before
chills.
Siddharth
Yeah.
goes forward with the story, I have one thing to add,
Yeah. Yeah.
sir.
Please, please.
Is that on the Nick Mercs thing, is that if he doesn't want son, he had a son, right? If he doesn't want his son know about such things from the school, it's his choice. Now, I saw a reel one day where there is an infant, I would say 3 or 4 months old infant, and she proudly made a reel saying, "You know what? I called the grandfather today and told them that their grandchild is a transgender."
Which was not cool, man. It's that simple.
What?
How do you?
No, listen to me. Listen to me.
Why is it not
Do you
cool?
see straight people? No, did you see? The thing is not that. The thing here is that, do you see straight people going against her, doing something of the sort? Nick Mercs got literally got cancelled from Call of Duty because of this shit. biggest creator for Activision had his entire bundle removed by a gaming company. I mean, this is a topic going on between the entire LGBTQ community and NickMercs. Why is there another company coming in the middle? The same way that lady who said that I called my father and told him that his grandchild, his grandson, is a transgender and now will be termed as they them. I mean, you did not see the grandfather come in and say something wrong. I mean, yes, okay, the mother said it. It's up to the mother. वो अलग बात है कि जब बच्चा बड़ा होगा, he might or she might say that no, I am a male. I will be. I want to be recognized as he or he him, right? But you did not see any straight person go and say कि यार ये क्या चल रहा है? What are you? Are you a heterophobe? No. But the minute Nick Merckx decided for something for his son, he got termed as homophobe. This is what the issue here is, that the entire community is getting butthurt so easily while we are trying to understand ourselves. तुम खुद confused हो, हम भी confused है. That doesn't mean you get the chance to call us a homophobe.
Nobody's first of all, the topic about butthurt again here is let's keep one thing clear here. Activision did what they wanted to do, not because of anybody's pressure, just because they're a corporate entity who makes, who's a business, basically a business, and who relies on profit. That's it. They did only keeping their own profit margins in mind. They sided with the uh, community that they think will get offended by NickMercs comments. That's all they did. They took a completely business decision as to remove that. It is not. Do you think Activision cares? A company who was till a month ago was facing a is still facing a court case for frat boy culture in their company, who had several leaders booked for sexual harassment. Do you think that companies really cared about LGBTQ people? No, no, they're not. They're only doing things to just show a image in the
Please,
society.
the,
That's all.
the term is please.
Yeah, please, whatever it is.
Basically please it. No, but what I don't understand is what is the need to please? Have they
That is the
pleased
company's
straight people?
bottom line. If they don't
Did they
see,
do
it is
anything
what the
to please the
politicians and
straight people?
no, that is the thing. Any situation, कुछ भी कहीं भी कुछ भी ले ले, it is always the majority who doesn't get his right to say
Majority still
anything.
is of straight people here. I would say
That
that
is what
the
I'm
majority
saying.
on,
That is what
yeah.
I'm saying. India ka situation le lo. Take the instance of Hindu versus Muslim argument, okay? The same argument. Who are the minorities? Muslims. Who are the majorities? Hindus. I mean, in India at least, right? In that situation, Hinduism की tolerance की बात होती है. Do you ever see the other way around? No. It always the majority who are expected to be tolerant. It is always the minority who is always shouting for something.
It's not true.
That
I
is
belong to,
natural
listen to me.
order everywhere.
That is natural order, but that doesn't mean that everybody is living that way.
Just to make
Thing
sure,
here is
Muslim
that
the second majority rather, not minority.
the issue
Keep it
here is
No, whatever it
the
is.
other way
I
around.
generally gave an example of.
technically.
ऐसे तो
Then
यार वही वाली बात है ना
minorities
कि
would be the ones who are literally on the lower end of the calculative, like like a quantitative spectrum.
RCs are
No, I didn't
minorities.
mean it like that. I mean, in a particular
हाँ हाँ हाँ
argument,
हाँ.
a majority and a minority. That's it.
Gave an
I'm not talking
example
about
कि किस
census here.
तरीके से it works, which I completely get, but the thing here is that who are getting offended on somebody else's belief. That is what the entire argument is about. उसका अपना कोई belief है. He stated that. That doesn't mean he's hating on you people. He
Yeah,
has
there's
thousands of
nothing wrong
viewers
with
every
that.
day. Yeah,
That's
he has
exactly true.
thousands.
That is exactly true.
ऐसे तो
And
यार फिर
that is
हम भी
what I
अपने
was
ऊपर दिल पे लेने लगे कि
that is what
we
I
need
was
a straight month, we need a
stating from the
month to be
start.
celebrated. We are straight people. लाओ
Right.
हमारा flag लाओ कहाँ है?
Right.
Same thing I could say. The same thing I could say. Mother's Day जैसे celebrate होता है, Father's Day होता है, नहीं होता. अब for
आज
example
आज था
और भी
by the
बताऊं,
way.
आज
आज
Father's
और
था.
भी
Day.
बताऊं. आज Father's Day. ठीक है, दूसरी बात. Women's Day होता है. Men Day कहाँ है भाई?
Good
Huh?
question.
The question
Right?
hurt me by the way. But so
चिल्ड्रंस डे होता है, पेरेंट्स डे कहाँ है?
होता है.
That is the
होता है,
same thing. So
बनाते नहीं है
like
बात अलग
the
है.
entire thing
Have
I
children
see
sleep
in
over
this
पे जाते.
argument, no, the entire central theme I see in this podcast or this whole discussion was humankind is focusing on the wrong things and getting offended for the wrong things.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be even like
No, so
worried about all these things.
mothers
Things
and
are
fathers
getting
होता है.
offended for the wrong things. The thing is here. The thing here
No, no, no.
is
I'm not talking
that
about what
is
you
no,
said.
no, both the
How
ends. No,
people
no,
got
yeah,
offended
yeah, yeah,
on
yeah,
you,
yeah,
on your
yeah,
comment.
yeah.
That's what I'm talking.
Yeah, so
It's
the
not
thing
what
here
you
is that
said,
it
but
can
the way
be
you said it. So
No, I was talking
don't
about
quote
people getting
friends over
offended on
here.
her, dude.
Not quote friends over here, said. Um, so the thing, look, people are always going to get offended. You know,
no,
humans are like humans get offended very easily. Mm, what I do not understand here is that there are two sides of a coin, right? You can't have both the sides facing the same way. You have to accept that. I might have different ideologies, different thoughts, different beliefs. Person in front of me might have a different ideology. I'm not a religious person. My in-laws are completely religious. That doesn't mean I shame them or I call them certain names. I don't understand from this community is that if we don't believe in certain things, that doesn't mean you get to call names, or it doesn't mean that you get to call you get to shame us because we can shame you back. And when we shame you
Absolutely right.
back, you get offended.
That's
We take
absolutely right.
we
That's the
take it with a
point I was
straight
again
face. Yeah,
making. It is the concept of sociality in this. I mean, that's a whole concept of humanity, right? As I again said, and again, I'm going to say it. The majority is expected to be tolerant. The minority is expected to be complaining all the time. That's how things work, apparently. And it's not only in this situation or anything, it's in every damn situation, it's going to be the same thing.
I personally will share a very close thing to something very close to me is that since I was a child, right? Instead of playing with dolls, I used to love doing what guys do. Playing cricket, gully cricket with my cousins, playing gully cricket with the neighbors' kids, right? While the girls are playing ghar ghar.
Hmm.
I was a tomboy when I was in my high school, so I used to do all kinds of stupid stuff what guys do, right? I got into brawl with the guy where I hit the guy with his collar and pushed him up against the wall. He used to do a lot of things what boys do, you know.
yeah,
That
So
doesn't mean that
you didn't succumb to the confusion, right?
yeah. You were giving
I
your
did
own.
get the idea. I'm not saying I did not get the thought.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not saying I did not
absolutely.
get the thought.
So that means that
The
you did
thing
not
here
succumb
is
to
when
the
I saw
confusion.
Sam, I saw
Huh.
my now husband. Reality kicked in. That no, I what I am straight.
Yeah.
But that happened at a certain age. Nobody
Yeah.
taught me. I did not need इंडिया में सेक्स एजुकेशन नहीं दी जाती, इंडिया में ये सब चीजें नहीं दी जाती हैं, राइट?
Yep.
Still have people here who are straight and who are from the LGBTQ community.
Yeah.
This is only from the India you know, or you or I know. If you actually consider
वाली
ancient
बात,
India, before the
हाँ
Britishers came in,
एंशियंट इंडिया की बात छोड़ दीजिए, मैं आज के इंडिया की बात कर रही हूँ जहाँ पर सेक्स एजुकेशन को
agreed. I'm just saying,
अ,
I'm just making a
समाज के
point
उसके
of
हिसाब से
discussion.
नहीं माना जाता है. बट द थिंग हियर इज दैट व्हेन देयर आर पीपल, ऐसा नहीं कि हमारे किसी के दिमाग में वही वाली बात है जो सिर ने कहा था कि कभी ना कभी किसी लड़की के दिमाग में आया हो, चलो ठीक है सूट पहनते हैं या साड़ी पहनते हैं. कि हर लड़की के दिमाग में आता है कि क्या एम आई अ बॉय.
आज बल्ला घुमा के किसी का सर फोड़ते हैं.
एग्जैक्टली. तो चीज ये है कि ऑल दोस थिंग्स व्हेन दे वर हैपनिंग दे हैपेंड एट अ सर्टेन एज.
For you,
Yeah.
it
हाँ
is not
स्वैगर ने बोली
mandatory
थी ना.
that it
हाँ
happens.
फॉर मी
नहीं वही कह रहा हूँ ना.
मैं
For
स्वैगर
you, it
वाली
happens
चीज
at a
लेके
certain
बीच में
age.
आऊंगी.
नहीं वही कह रहा हूँ. For you, it might have happened when you were 16, 17, something like that.
That
For
also
example,
depends on the way I
बाकियों के
was
लिए
brought
it
up.
might have happened, yeah. बाकियों के लिए it might have happened earlier or it might have happened later also. That's what I'm saying. Every
Exactly.
person is different.
The thing that Swagger said about the phones, I'm
Hmm.
gonna add to that is that there's a reason behind why I got my phone when I got married. My father did not believe in giving a phone to a person who was not away from home. I studied and I was at home. I did not need a phone. Right?
Hmm.
I went to the college. My friends had phone. I gave the phone number to my father that if you need to reach out to me, just call my friend. That is a belief. And today, I thank him because I know that the kind of a mischievous person I was, if I had the phone, मैंने बहुत कांड करे होते, मैंने बहुत कांड करे हैं और बहुत बड़े कांड कर चुकी होती. The thing
Yeah.
here is that Nick Merck's के point of view से it is okay for a parent. I'm not saying control a child. There are certain decisions when a child is born. There are certain decisions that a parent needs to make.
Yep.
That is what he meant.
Yep.
Not he didn't say that I am literally hating on these people. He just gave his decision over there. I personally would say that child of age 2 from age, let's say 1 to 10, should not be mm, taught or taught about this in school. Questions होंगे वो जाके पूछेगा, that is completely fine. उनको भी, if there is a transgender person in front of them, given they're not a pedophile, if they are going, the child is going to them and asking about their gender's identity, they should not get offended. They should describe it to the child. That is more, I would say, that is healthier than actually having the entire schooling system being changed, where there are books, there are TV shows, children's TV shows showing transgender or gay or lesbian parents or other things as well.
They should show Tom and
That's
Jerry.
what my point is.
Tom and Jerry had
Even
so
Tom,
many innuendos, by it's not even
exactly.
funny.
Even Tom and Jerry had a lot of sexual innuendos.
And they were
Lot of our
but those were
cartoons.
innuendos for a reason, by the way. They could have
But when we
explicitly
were
done it.
younger, we didn't know about it.
Exactly. That's what
So
I'm saying.
it was
We got
nice.
a
That's what
chance to
Siddharth is
understand,
saying.
right? That's what I was trying to get to. That we got a chance to figure shit out
Hmm.
till the point, and then we could make the call. And they were very clever about it
Exactly.
because
But
they wanted to address a very wide audience. It's not just the
Yep.
children; they also wanted to address the parents at the same time. So they kept it in
that
a way
that
that they could.
Same is with Disney as well. The way they have made their cartoons and movies.
Yeah,
this no,
Okay,
whatever you
continue.
guys are saying, right? This is the natural progression that you expect life to go on, right? But that is unfortunately not happening in these schools in US. That is why this system was brought in the first place.
now these guys are
If it
also.
was naturally happening, if people were tolerant naturally, if people were accepting naturally, things would have not been brought up at all. Again, it releases to the points where parents are forcing their kids not to associate with certain group of elements or to outcast those people.
That's
There are
also.
parents in US who openly, right in front of their kids, are abusing those people, the other community people, whatever community they might be it in terms of race, be it in terms of sex, be it in terms of anything. Abe, don't associate with that Indian fellows, those brown fellows or black fellows. For example, there are white supremacists as well, right? So I'm just giving you a broad idea. So all these things led to the school system, to the government, to the pressure the government was facing to bring in policies and educational material to avoid these of kind of thoughts and processes in people, so that in the future they don't get violent in such a way that they become white supremacists and Nazi, neo Nazis and everything, and to violently act against, act according to their beliefs. That is the mechanism that the school education is trying to bring in.
Before the students start learning about these things, they have still not overcome racism. You saw what happened in 2020.
That is what. But
See, evil
see, that
always
is the
finds its
thing.
way, nah? That's also the thing.
Racism, you cannot eradicate a solution. You cannot have a eradicate racism in a single day. It will not get eradicated till the time in India itself we agree that there are so many castes and we are one of the most racist countries in the world. To be honest, हिंदुइज्म में इतने सब caste है साला.
But
Within,
there is
I'm a
a
Brahmin mein hi, I know that my mom, when
No,
she was
but
looking for matches for me, she was like, no, there are 37 different categories and sects in Brahmins itself, and we should be only married to that particular thing in the top.
they had their own logics to that. By the way, it was not
if you talk
discriminatory
about us, we don't have
outright.
this issue, right?
No, so that's what I'm saying, right? So these even the caste system was not exactly designed for discriminatory purposes. It was designed in a way where it was assigned to particular professions and the way that society functioned. So that wasn't
Right.
exactly. It wasn't like a discriminatory thing in the first place. It took a evil turn. It was a whole different story. But
No,
again,
the entire turn, the evil turn,
yeah.
Siddharth, that
So
you're talking about, right? It comes from the part where, where the same bloodline is supposed to be maintained.
that
That
was yeah.
thought
Yeah, that school of thought
That
was there.
thought led to that. Yeah,
Yeah, so
that
that
thought led to that thing. Yeah.
exactly. But then they realized that this that thought was not exactly. I mean, not only was it regressive, but also the fact that there was a limiting feature to that, because the kind of genetic mutations that came into being, it just changed everything. In fact, we I mean, we're coming back to the point where we were thinking that we were discriminatory all this while, even throughout this conversation in the entire podcast. We were not. We have been one of the most foremost proponents in the gaming community, especially, and Hack has been part of that too. That we have always avoided and shut down people who used, um, the LGBTQ terms,
Discriminatory language.
discriminatory language, gay, for example, as an insult, and we have stopped it, and we have stopped promoting it at the same time, because we not only accept, we have learned to live with them, just like we learned to live with animals at the same time. So we have learned to do that, because again, there is an anomaly, or there is an aberration in the whole societal flow of things. Yes, we accept it, we have gone forward with it, and then also, uh, we've gone forward to the point where we was one of the most liberal pieces of land on this planet, and we happen to avoid it. Like, we happen to just avoid it because we were, again, washed out of that. Our thoughts were washed out of that particular situation. So we didn't go back to our classic education system once we were free from the colonial rule. We went back to their education system, which is why we could not even go back to our own roots, which is why we are at this standstill of discriminatory nonsense, because we never had this issue. In fact, 1857, just a very over the top example. 1857, there was the discrimination started happening, and all of us, Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isain, or whoever was part of that army with Mangal Pandey, if anybody has seen. So that sort of revolt was because we were getting divided based on our um religious value systems. We were getting divided because of that, and that's how
I
we
mean,
revolted.
it
So
even started before that, to be
it
honest.
did, of course,
When,
but again,
yeah.
what we were told and taught in school, we were
Hmm.
taught, and we were also given the facts, however filtered, but we were given certain facts that we were divided amongst that. So that's what that exactly was the initial issue. Then we had certain pushes and pulls around that, and then even after that, that's a whole different topic altogether. My point was, these are the things that are very categorical in nature. That's what we started with. They're very categorical in nature, and we had to deal with them. In fact, very categorically as well, because again, discrimination is not acceptable, but also there needs to be a dialogue so that we can have it like we are having right now. Right. So
See, the thing is, I feel like, before you end this topic or whatever, it's like especially as you said earlier, it's like people use things like gay and whatnot. So if you guys have played CS:GO, there's
Super
literally a
prevalent.
gun
Yeah.
which, yeah, people just call it a gay gun now. So this has been going on for like 10 plus years because obviously
20
CS
years.
has been there.
20
Yeah,
years,
it's
my
like
friend.
it's just been there,
You might
and
have played
people,
for 10 years, but we have played for
yeah,
longer. So that's
okay, uncle, sorry.
it has
Now
no
get
business.
offended,
No,
Sid.
no, I'm not, right? So, I mean, because I've seen this, and there is I mean, see, toxicity is something that comes around, finds its way, and
No, see,
people
this
will
is what
use it, misuse it as well.
this is the exact point which I wanted to, bring up. See, it's like things like this, people do get toxic most of the times, and it's not just, in the social world. There are
Yeah.
people who are toxic IRL as well.
Yeah.
And it's like there's bullying in school, there's corruption, like everywhere pretty much, like from governments to whatnot. So, that's completely new, different topic altogether. But what I feel is, it's like these things, you don't really, like these things don't really just go off.
Yeah.
It's like they
Yeah.
stay with you the whole life, and you just get to, you basically, learn how to cope with it.
And you will learn
It's
how to
like,
prioritize through all of these topics.
exactly. It's like if someone, trolls me or something,
Yeah.
I'm just like, screw you, ignored completely. It doesn't even affect me anymore. Like
Yeah.
before, like, when I got into gaming and stuff, I got into gaming when I was in college.
Yeah.
Before that, I used to just do like offline gaming, like GTA and whatnot.
Yeah.
I got into online gaming, and this some random guy just told me that you're bad at this game, blah blah blah, whatever, and that affected me like pretty badly. So I was like, bhai, I can't be, so bad at this game or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But then after playing a bit, I just realized that it will happen wherever you go. It's like even the pros, they get shit on. They got told, "Ki,
Exactly.
"Arey, at this point you should have done this point you should have done that."
Yep.
It even happens in, cricket and whatnot.
Yep.
Like people sit at home and are like, "Arey yaar, isko aise bowling karna chahiye tha." I'm like, dude, if you're that skilled, just go there and do it yourself.
Hey, Baba, that's the
Even
layer of social interaction. Na? You can't take away that social interaction based
See,
on certain
that is
topics
what
that
I
happen.
mean. Social
This is what
interaction
exactly we are
has
doing
become
right now.
toxicity. But it has become toxicity. That's the main point.
No, I
It's
mean
like,
there is a very specific category again, very pichhada hua percentage of the social interaction that is toxic, and they will always be toxic regardless of what it goes. Because
see, the
our normal
thing.
conversation, we were never toxic to each other, were we? I mean, we were just
No, no, no. I'm not talking about us. I'm saying as a community itself.
exactly
It's like a lot of the
four
parents
different.
have a thing in their head, especially in India, कि बच्चा अगर shooting game खेल रहा है, वो he'll actually shoot some people.
That is
Dude,
something that
I
I've always
play
seen. That
no,
is understood.
and
Yeah.
the next point was I have played GTA. I have played like so many racing games. It's like before I even got the license, I was into cars a lot, and I never got a chance to like drive a real car. But then the way I drive a real car compared to the way I drive like in games is completely different.
That's what
So
exactly
it's
you got your
ah,
chance to explore things yourself. That's the same premise that I've been a proponent of throughout this
मैं
हाँ,
conversation.
मैं वही
But
बोल रहा था. Maybe it
yeah,
is the same thing. It's like you do what you want to do.
yeah,
It's like you're curious about
but
something, you do that,
yeah,
and then it's like it's up to you. Because see, my parents never told me not to game. Obviously they were like एक एक car खेल सकता है. They got me a PS3 as well, where I was playing offline games, and they were like 1 hour, like there's a restriction. I
yeah.
get it. Why? Because they were like, you need to focus more on studies. But then now when I started streaming, like I took it up for like a year and a half, they never really said told me ki nahi mat kar.
Yeah,
They were like, you should find different options till the time this starts paying and whatnot.
yeah.
So I get like they're this thing as well ki, they're protective in a way. But at the end of the day, it's up to you ki, if you want to, let's say, like the basic thing that a parent says from get go is don't smoke, don't drink.
They
That's
define then they define the very fine line, not the blurred one, the finest line of limits,
Mm,
so that you don't fall off. Right?
exactly.
You
So
you
it's
know
like,
what you would like in life, at least through the family traditions and values and whatnot, right?
yep.
Exactly what I was talking about when it comes to NickMercs and all of that, right? So
Mhm.
that's exactly what he wants for his son, and if he's asking and he's talking about it in open, why is he getting cancelled for that?
So see, that's exactly the point here
So
as well. I'm like, see,
yeah,
he is protective
Okay.
about his child,
Yeah.
and he wants to give him or her a safe,
Him.
like, okay, so
Son.
he wants to give him a safe space. That is what a parent wants to do anyways. They don't want you to go and get into drugs and whatnot, become a complete alcoholic.
Yeah.
But then there it's up to you to decide if you want to do something or not. Like,
Exactly.
for example, even now I have like almost borderline been forced into drinking alcohol and start smoking. But I took a stand कि नहीं मेरे को नहीं करना तुम लोग if like even if it means कि it will seclude me from the friend group, I'm like fine, it's okay with me, because
That's
to
right.
me I prioritize my parents more than anyone else.
Yeah.
If they are true
It's
friends of
not
yours, they would accept you as you are. If you don't want to
Exactly,
drink,
exactly.
they would
that's the whole thing.
force you.
Yeah.
The thing here
Yeah.
is, it's not even about giving them a safe space or a safe haven.
Hmm.
उसका बच्चा है,
Yeah.
मर्स का.
Exactly, उसकी मर्जी.
Who made it? It must. The wife made it. Right? उसकी मर्जी.
Yeah.
Yep.
The people who are literally talking shit about him are not going to come at his
You're lagging
home,
bad, by the way.
pay for his bills. Pay for his bills and give pay for his tuition. Nothing. It's his choice.
They'll just
He
disrupt the
has a
household and go.
choice.
They'll just.
Exactly.
He
And
has a
at the same
choice.
point of
They
time,
have a choice.
I'm not even talking about
at,
any LGBTQ. Anybody will just disrupt the
no, at the
household.
same point of time, even the considering NickMercs himself,
Yeah.
every one of us is a fucking hypocrite when it comes to parents. Our parents tried to give us a secure environment.
Yeah.
They tried to impose rules and regulations on us. We rebelled at that
Yeah.
point of time
Yeah.
because we didn't like it,
Yeah.
Hmm.
right? We didn't want our parents to restrict us from learning or doing stuff and
Yeah.
everything. We wanted to do stuff and learn stuff on our own terms.
Yeah.
Yep.
And when we become parents, we try to do the same thing for our kids.
No, because
Just because you
Because
want
we
to do the
until
same thing for
understand
that,
what
them.
our parents were
until
doing.
yeah, that's because
And
we
your
now
kids are
regret the
going to
fact that
react the same way.
now that
And
We
the
that
fact
is
that
realized
we
what
how
our
regret
parents
that
were doing.
they were
That's the
yeah,
thing.
that is
exactly.
how humanity is going to proceed.
Yeah.
But it'll go on a less relaxed way. For example, I'm just saying your father did not allow you a mobile phone till you got married, right? You respect him for that now, but you might have regretted or hated him for a period of time for not allowing it also. Did
Not
you not?
hated him, but what I used to do was मैं
Or
चोरी
not
छुपे किसी का
hated?
phone उठा के
Annoyed.
चीजें.
Huh. I
I
mean,
used to be
you were
annoyed. I
annoyed with
found
him, right? Not
ways. Yeah,
hated
yeah, yeah.
him. Hated is a too strong word, but you might have been angry or annoyed with him for doing that,
I
right? You
rebelled.
might have
I'll say I rebelled.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Same thing. What is the next generation of parents doing right now? I mean, I'm just seeing my
Completely
brother
flipped
with
on
my
it.
niece. क्या कर रहे हैं? बच्ची रोती है, फोन पकड़ा देते हैं हाथ में ताकि वो
Yep.
चुप हो जाती है. खाना नहीं खाती है, टीवी ऑन कर देते हैं या फोन हाथ में दे देते हैं और खाना खिलाते हैं.
Yeah.
That is what is happening. That is how people are going to change. And eventually, people, generation wise, all these things will become normalized in some point of or the other time.
Yeah, but
And to be honest, I don't consider Nick Marks. I mean, he's getting cancelled. He's the point of thing right now. I agree, but he himself is a big asshole. Okay, he has made statements on his stream so many times, which were anti-regressive, which were hateful to a community or not. I don't care, but generally he is an asshole. He has himself called out his parents on his stream in a negative way.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's the right example. And हम लोग उसके नाम बार इतनी बारी we have given him free promotion right now. We should
Yeah.
charge him for it.
Yeah, my statement was very simple at that particular point. If he's not being himself, but he's being
Yeah.
very much a representative and an ideal parent, right? An ideal parent who is in me, in you, in all of us here who's watching right now, and we are trying to become the ideal parents who can do everything, the super parent, if you will, the super dad, super mom, everything at the same time, and probably a superhuman in general in life. But again, we are on our way to get there. So on our way to get there, we are trying to do the right things possible, right? So And
Again,
that's what
that's a gray
rules.
area, no, Sid? As in, there
There's
is.
not. I mean, there is literally no
I
gray area
mean,
in that.
there is a. No, there is. What I'm trying to tell you is, uh, there's a generally accepted right way. There is no exactly right way or wrong way
There
without
is no
knowing what
generally
it is.
accepted. There is a socially accepted right way.
Ah, that is what I
Yeah.
meant by generally
And then there
accepted.
is an ideal way.
There is no ideal way also because nobody knows what is the ideal way.
Ideal way
Everything
would
is
be the
based on
ones.
experimentation. Parenthood itself is a big experiment. My
Yeah.
parents experimented on me and then perfected it on my brother.
Damn right.
Yeah, of course. I mean, the first eldest kid is always an experiment, man, because as you're growing, they're also growing as parents along with you.
There's a thing I read, a quote that I read, that the first child is
Wow.
the one that struggles with the parents.
Yeah,
Second child, what is the one who reaps off after the struggles of the parents.
very true.
And the first child becomes the parent. Yeah.
Yeah, eventually. Yeah.
So that
Eventually, yeah.
is, yeah,
No, but
we are
the
the
point here is
we are the parents of
that
the children we didn't make.
we all know
So,
Or flushed down.
there's a point that, yeah, Nick Mercs is an asshole. He has made certain statements. The point here is still he has a decision. He has a belief
yeah.
for his kid, right? And we can't really shame him for that. It's what the
Fair point.
entire community is doing. You can't
Very
call him a
fair.
homophobe
Yeah.
for it, right? Can't, and
Exactly.
that is
Agreed.
what shoving down the throat is, hack, in a way, because you are
No,
shaming
actually,
that
I have a very
person.
different definition of that, but I
I'm
don't want
not
to.
literally saying shoving down the throat, ठीक है?
Gee. Ugh.
But you get the point.
NSFW stream.
Rairo in the chat wants a kid now because he's now eternally motivated to become a parent, which is very cool. See,
I
very
पहले
agree.
he
He's
wants
just
to
I
go
horny.
to
think
ना,
I think we should
पहले
take a break and
उसको,
change the topic again. We should
Yes.
yeah.
discuss about this mysterious island that we were talking about, at least for Rairo's
Oh,
sake.
Yeah, the mysterious island of fornication. I don't know.
100 women, was it?
Yeah.
100 women in one guy.
Jeez.
I mean, what
Very.
are you trying to do? Like Noah's Ark के बाद जो चीज हुई थी वो?
no, I'm not saying I said it. I'm saying I, saw a person say it and it did make sense to me.
Which part of this we made sense to you? 100 women or one man?
No, I'm saying, see, you can't really reproduce with a transgender person, can you?
Of
You
course.
can.
So it's like,
Oh.
Of
how?
You, I
course.
mean, you can. A
How?
transgender male can
Transgender
a
woman,
transgender.
yeah, move to being a man with a
Hmm.
male genitalia. Yeah, he can reproduce in the future.
No,
Huh.
A
oh,
transgender
Give me
male can
I'm
one
saying,
case
reproduce
that has
with a
happened so
female.
far.
okay, listen.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, for example, now let's say Sid, our friend here, he,
Why am I getting pregnant, man?
पहले
Why?
तेरे को
no,
lesbian बोला, हाँ?
see,
पहले
the thing
उसके
is,
बाद
lesbians.
bisexual बोला.
I'm a
Now he's
two-spirit.
calling you pregnant.
I'm a
I mean,
two-spirited
it's
penguin and a
his
black
podcast.
lesbian, like Pierce Morgan right now. So,
Oh
I
my
can
You wish
god.
identify
your
anything.
Swag is something
Address
against you, bro, for sure.
address
First he
me
called you a lesbian, then he called you a bisexual. Now he's calling you pregnant. I mean,
cancel me.
I don't even want to imagine what he's going to call you next.
address me as king and lord, please. My
Uh,
pronouns. Go for it. So,
but yeah,
Yeah,
so
someone please clip
Lord
that.
Siddharth here.
No,
So
king and lord. He wants to be addressed as king and lord.
so
जो करना है कर ले bro. बुला ले. Sit here. So basically, as I was saying earlier, let's say he becomes a transgender male or they, whatever. So
king
it's like
and
Transgender
lord.
female.
King
transgender
and
He's
lord.
female.
already, yeah.
ठीक
That
है.
was the only thing you
So
left out in the previous example. So, yeah,
hmm.
Sid.
So let's say he becomes a he becomes trans now. So he cannot really bear a child, can he?
No, but he has the possibility of helping a
Uh,
transgender woman
how
getting
many?
a child,
That's what I'm saying. See, if it's
or
Eh?
a female getting a child still.
female, yes,
How?
but not a same this thing. he cannot bear a baby
हाँ,
because
transgender. I'm
क्या
completely
बोल
missing
रहे
the
हो?
fact
you
out of here,
literally
dude. Sorry.
ये
I'm
तो
like what?
उल्टा बोल रही है, मैं वही चीज समझ रहा हूँ, क्या
हाँ,
बोलनी जा रही है?
I was completely confused कैसे भाई?
हाँ
See,
हाँ, they can't. He can't. Yeah, that's
हाँ
true.
वही तो they can't really reproduce.
yeah.
So main चीज वही था उस वाले वीडियो में भी, that person is saying कि you can't really reproduce with a transgender person, whereas if it's a man and a female you can reproduce, and like
You know
that's the
what's
main.
funny? It's kind of hypocritical. तुम्हारी point पे है
Hmm,
कि when these couples, whether gay,
hmm.
lesbian, bisexual, these couples, when they want a child, they actually go to a sperm donor,
and
a
and and
surrogate,
ठीक है यार.
straight sperm donor
और
or
सीधा
a
बोलते हैं कि we
Hmm.
don't need men to reproduce. There are like 1,000 clips.
That don't, it doesn't have to be a transgender woman to say that. Every damn woman says that. You know,
Exactly.
there
no,
are so
I don't
many.
say that. I can't reproduce all by myself.
Yeah.
No, you're an exception. Yeah, you're Bunny Mao for God's sake,
Mousy.
you're different.
Don't call me mousy on camera. I swear to God, I
I
swear
did.
to God.
I didn't, but you're an exception. But there are so many, exceptions to this. But majority of the women, if you just in
Yeah.
US especially,
Yeah.
they're so idiots. I mean,
Yeah.
such an idiot that they say it so many times. There's so many videos as proof, as you said for
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
I think
A
those
guy
are
goes interviewing them.
the word that you're looking for is the third wave feminist clan. Like there is
Exactly.
the third wave feminist clan that basically has the facts so regressively obscured that they misquote a lot of things. So,
Yeah, I would say
There's a video
humankind
I
has
saw.
evolved in such a way that a man needs a woman to grow and a woman needs a man to grow. It's a symbiotic relationship that you
yeah.
cannot get out of it.
I believe with that we come to the next topic of our podcast,
Yes.
dating.
आगे बढ़ो. I'll
Dating
sleep.
Yeah,
dating नहीं
तीन
करना तेरे को.
घंटे एक ही
तेरे
टॉपिक
को
पे बोल चुके हैं.
dating
Hmm.
नहीं करना है. Dating नहीं करना
I
तेरे
mean,
को.
we had a very weird bunch to discuss dating.
Yeah.
Okay, this guy is has dated. Siddharth has dated, but he's still single. He cannot talk about
Path
it.
has been termed bisexual, transgender,
I am a
everything.
two-spirited black lesbian. Please.
Who identifies as an Apache helicopter,
Look
right?
at what Ryder
Yes.
is writing in the
My
chat. He's like,
And
I want to become Optimus Prime from Transformers and have a
yes.
baby with half elf, half human from Lord of the Rings. Like he wants to surpass Sauron who created orcs.
You can do that in the game though.
you know, exactly. I was trying to tell him that.
Virtual
Half
reality, bro.
elf, half human. Offspring is called an orc.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
You
I
learn
don't know.
something new every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, the best I can give you is Gollum from Lord of the Rings. Take it or
Yeah.
leave it, okay?
Yeah.
Ryan.
Dude,
I don't even think you're gonna
no.
buy that game right now. Wouldn't, by the way. Because
Uh,
that game got banned like crazy, ne?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
That game, you didn't see Golem. What are you saying?
I don't think so.
The game got banned?
Banned.
No,
PA.
banned.
मतलब
He's saying
चमाट
Banned.
it
पड़े
got
उसे.
negative reviews.
Negative reviews.
Yeah, because you
Lot
know
of negative.
why?
The
Even
gameplay was
the
shit.
games that EA made along with Lord of the Rings की पूरी franchise, I don't know if you guys know about our strategy games they created, जो बाद में discontinue करते करते called Battle for Middle Earth.
Yep.
Right.
Uh, उसके graphics and Golem के graphics में भी जमीन आसमान का फर्क है. The graphics of that strategy games were better than the graphics they have created for Golem, and
Very true.
that's why it's like horrible. And we
Ah.
had so much expectation, and the fact that Tolkien's own grandchild has worked along with the entire team on this game,
Yeah.
it's horrendous to see what has been done. We all the Tolkien fans especially were looking forward to the game and have shat on it.
Just because you think you have the descendant of somebody, like for example, the grandchild of Tolkien here in this case, and the same thing for what is that? What is that movie? Adipurish. They had somebody who claimed to be like generations from Valmiki. in their script writing department. What's the point when you have like shitty graphics like that and you can't represent a story accurately, right? I mean, they showed Ravanasur with a 5 by 2 matrix combination of heads. Like, 5 by 5, 5 by 2 का matrix combination है उसके heads में. It's not like the, 5 heads this side, 5 heads that side.
हाँ वो
5 heads
Really?
ऊपर, 5 head नीचे. Really? That's how bad it
अभी
is.
इसमें
हाँ.
Oh,
wow.
that's actually Khan's that transformation that happens. I remember.
Each head is fighting with each other in
Yeah.
the graphics. They have
the
no
fuck?
coordination at all.
Wow.
Wow. But
No.
Exactly. See
they
how
took
ugly
it
it
to,
looks.
they took it on
But
to
ये
a
तो वो
whole
वाला
level
सिनेरियो जाता है when we get shit drunk and we have our own heads. We
inner
basically are
voices.
thinking, like,
Yeah, yeah.
Inner voices talking to each other. And
yeah, ये
like,
तो वो
fuck you,
वाला
no, fuck
सिनेरियो हो
you.
गया.
No, you.
They basically made it a meme.
Yeah,
They're
basically.
like movie तो
To be
चलेगी नहीं
honest,
meme बना लेते हैं.
there was
Exactly.
an article I read long ago about a woman talking to her son who was a genetic scientist, right?
Oh,
She was trying to tell the accurate learnings that we learn from Ramayana, right? So
yeah.
when you talk about a person with 10 heads, it is not, I mean, it's not about a person literally having 10 heads. It's not about genetic mutation.
Personalities.
It is about 10 heads in that way that Valmiki had written it was if one person was killed, another would pop in his place. He was generally he was actually talking about cloning process
Hmm.
that we ancient Indians had at that point of time. They were talking about regeneration from a drop of blood. खून का एक बूंद नीचे गिरता है अगर रावण का तो उसमें से भी रावण उठ के आता है. They were talking about generation from a scratch, like Deadpool का regenerative skills जो होते थे ऐसा चीज. They were
Right.
talking about all these kind of things. They were talking about Pushpak Viman, which was one of the silent vertical take of VTOL machines that we had in those days. It could
Yeah.
just take off like this without a runway. They were talking about missiles and other things that people were launching just with a bow and arrow kind of a setup they had.
And yet,
These were the technological advancement that lady was talking about, and then we have a movie like Adi Purush shitting on all that.
oh yeah, that's the saddest
Coming
part.
from a country which is majority Hindus, we see ourselves on Sid's camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just trying to fix things, but that didn't happen. Anyhow,
He's confused. He's
Not
experimenting
everything
with
can be
himself.
fixed. Not everything can be fixed in life.
Siddharth is confused. He's experimenting with himself.
what?
Yeah.
Now we are opening that can
No,
of
no,
worms again.
with your camera, I mean.
Aha, by all
Finally, you
means.
can tell that your cam is bisexual now.
नहीं,
ये
quad sexual
ये
to,
तो
for people.
Swagger is trying to term Sid is as if like
He,
Two
he, he
spirited black lesbians.
Swagger
I'm also one.
somehow strongly wants that to be bisexual. It looks like.
Yeah.
I don't know why. What his purpose is still is a mystery.
And the way he's looking at me right now.
I'm not even looking at you. That's the thing. There's just like a photo there. So
one sec, I'll be back,
hey,
guys.
thank you
Hey.
for the 3 gifted.
Hey, Nico,
Hey, Nico,
back from
thanks.
fishing.
Thanks for the 3 gifted, my friend. What is happening? You back here? पहले वो Wuhan Bat and अब Adi Purush. Oh yeah. Let's not put it on Wuhan Bats, man. I don't know if they did something like this or we're just made to believe that they fucked up.
I was checking like what?
What?
Never mind, nothing. I was just taking something out for the sub.
Wait, okay, that
Thing
must.
is, I'm actually pretty new with like Twitch. So it's like if someone gives you a sub, what
Yeah.
exactly happens?
You don't see ads.
Oh,
Yep. Which on my channel I've
that's
had a
nice.
lot of complaints show a lot
Interesting.
because I think that's how it was programmed. Or I did. I don't know. I didn't realize how. I mean, you don't see ads, but you can use sub emotes. Yeah, but you also unlock a lot of other
He
things.
got.
You also get
I mean,
the
he just
sub
got the sub.
badge. Yeah. Plus,
Yeah,
you
makes
just got
sense.
the sub. Plus, there are certain other perks as well. I think I'm forgetting. You also get you get the Discord roles and access and everything else. Everything is synced. So if you've connected
I
your
mean,
Twitch to your
you
Discord,
remember last time I got it? Even that time, I didn't get a like nothing really like opened up in a way. Like nothing. I couldn't see anything.
oh, now you check. Now your Twitch is now you're under the Twitch subs category on Discord. Check it out. So
Yeah, on Discord, yes.
yeah,
I see it. I see
now
it.
it's updated. You sub for
That's
1 month.
nice.
Now that you sub for the next one, so things
I mean, technically, Nico subbed.
he's he subbed on your behalf. So
Yes.
I get more attention from His
What
Highness.
did I miss?
Of course you do. Of course you
What did I
do, Praja.
miss?
Nothing. We were
Nothing much. Just
discussing
subs.
subs, Twitch, and life in general. But what also do you think Kick is going to kick?
You just missed
Twitch?
these people talking about subs, but
That's
not the
actually a
kind of
good.
subs I really want to think about right now.
I say book lag rahi मुझे.
That's a good
बहुत
topic.
भूख
Oh,
लग रही
dude,
है.
Which one?
no.
Which one?
जो तो
I
भी बोल
want
रहा
a
था.
subway
Continue.
right now.
30 at night.
Aloo tikki, man. Nothing beats that
I
sub.
have khamiri and stuff to eat, and it's not tikka, it's tikka. So I want to go eat that.
I had to cancel the plan of cooking my own dinner for this podcast. So now it's 12:30, and I don't want to cook dinner, so I have to sleep.
आप तो कंचे
Can we
Maggie.
खेला.
stop talking?
Maggie नहीं है घर
Can
पे?
we stop talking about khamiri roti and subs and aloo tikki burgers and stuff, please?
Oh,
I'm
and pav
begging
Maggie
you
नहीं है
bhaji
घर
guys.
पे?
and
Oh,
Maggie
one second.
and
Trying to
pav
find this
bhaji
out.
and pav bhaji and Maggie
बेचारे कुछ
and a
भी नहीं है
beer.
उसके पास.
I literally made this tonight.
Maggie.
I hate you, Swagger.
Yes. It's like I put a lot of potatoes and stuff in it. Like I make it in a different way. So
What do you do?
yeah,
Give
it
us
was
the
nice.
recipe. What do
What do
you
you
do?
Okay,
put in
a
there?
recipe time. So basically, it's like I cook the noodles first,
Right.
take it out, strain it out like when it's al dente. Then I obviously first put the
Abomination.
huh? No. It's actually nice. Just listen to me. Okay. So basically, it's like you cook the noodles, take it out, put some oil in, like finely chopped potatoes because I like potatoes. I put that. You can put
Right.
whatever you want. You
Nice.
put that. Once it's done, you put some garlics, chilies, depending on what kind of how much heat you can handle, and then give it a good mix. Put the noodles in. Put a lot of oil, obviously, otherwise it will stick to the wok. You put some noodles in. If you like soya sauce, you can put that in, and a bit of peri peri this thing powder on top. And
Right.
obviously, you have to put the Maggi masala as well. I put all that, give it a nice mix, and I don't really like the soupy Maggi or whatever. So it's
Yeah.
like it is not dry as such because of the oil, but yeah, it does taste
It
hella
does the
nice.
job.
Instead of Maggie, if you use
Hmm.
the Hakka noodles wala, right?
Hmm.
The other it'll come out even better.
Yeah, so
And
that's the thing. Maggi normally gal jata hai.
mm,
Yeah.
Whereas I use top ramen. So top ramen is actually very nice because it stays like it holds the shape.
ये
It's
शक्ल
actually
देखो.
pretty nice.
ये शक्ल देख लो इतनी भूखी बैठी है
let's change the topic.
Yes,
वरना वो
let's do the
मारेगी
topic.
मुझे आके अभी.
वैसे
इतनी
कल
जोर
रात
से
को मैंने
बोल रहा है.
पनीर बटर मसाला बनाया था.
Thank you.
अरे चुप कर.
Hey guys, it was nice.
Bye.
It was nice being here.
Come back.
Oh, boy, the kind of the foodie segue that we had, man. I really want to eat now and play some more games, but
Let's
Right.
talk about songs.
let's
Music.
talk about the upcoming games that are
You can sing here.
that are happening. Nobody's singing. I am not singing at all.
Forget about the worldly issues now. यार हो गया
अबे
एक topic.
गेम
इतना
वर्ल्डली
नहीं
इश्यूज
झेला
की कौन
जाएगा.
बात कर रहा है मैं गेम्स की बात कर रहा हूँ
की
यार
बात
अंताक्षरी
नहीं
खेलते हैं,
करना
चलो.
है.
मुझे
बैठे बैठे
अंताक्षरी
क्या
खेलते,
करें
let's have some fun. नहीं.
no no no
Singing time.
बैठे
चलो.
बैठे क्या करें, करना है कुछ काम, शुरू करो अंताक्षरी
Only
लेके
3.
प्रभु का नाम। बनी
only
you
two
start.
बेसिक गाना नहीं होगा.
only two
नाच देना.
I am हाँ डांस it seems. मैं literally अपने
TikTok
friend को बोल रहा था.
dances.
but
Nico
also
actually said we should do TikTok dances, you know.
yeah
You play
Ain't happening.
Fortnite. You don't know the Fortnite shuffle, dude? You should know the Fortnite shuffle.
it's
You mean the
not the
floss?
Fortnite it's the
The
floss
flaws, yeah.
वो पता है of course.
yeah
I ain't doing that on camera. I didn't do it for my stream. Why will I do it here?
because you're the youngest one we can bully
Yeah,
you
see, he's so selfish. Said he
Yes.
doesn't
I
want.
don't
I
give
am
a
a
have to
fuck.
do
two-spirited
it.
black
No,
lesbian.
why
You
you
have to
do it?
floss.
Because you called Sid. The reason why you have to do it. He called the host
Hmm?
You,
bisexual,
I
transgender, pregnant transgender.
pregnant
Call the
man who can
host that you have to
reproduce.
sing now.
Yes,
To
for
dance now.
my
Come
future
on.
baby's sake,
Wait.
please.
डांस से ट्रांसजेंडर कैसे गए हम लोग? हेलो.
You have to do this because तुमने उसे बहुत कुछ बना दिया, तो एक बार डांस कर दो उसके लिए.
नहीं नहीं वो तो
Sad.
For
सेट
my
खुद बना है.
for मेरे future baby के लिए एक बार नाच के दिखा.
Zach, कर दे चल.
ना ना ना.
चल.
Not happening.
Get started.
पैसा देगा तू.
कितना?
एक सब
नाच
मिला है ना तेरे
मेरी
को उसी के लिए
बुलबुल
पहले
तो पैसा
नाच.
मिलेगा.
Nah,
How
I'm good.
can you
I'm good.
not dance for his highness? Exactly.
Sing a song then. You have to
Honestly,
sing a
see,
song then.
the thing is, if
Either
I
sing
stand
or
up,
dance.
you guys won't be able to see me on cam.
It's alright.
Yes,
So
we-
bend over.
It's okay. We
Hey yo! Stop right there.
Now I
don't
understand why
need
he
to-
called you
See?
bisexual.
Exactly.
we don't need to see your face while you're dancing. Dance. And we'll see
Okay,
your
fine.
moves.
You don't
Come
have
on.
to see my face.
Wow.
Eh?
You have to choose your words very carefully, buddy.
I am
next
dancing
time.
right now.
He turned off his camera. Now what to do?
Dude,
Oh,
I'm
that
asking
was
you to
good dance,
sing.
you know? Very good dance.
Yeah, now sing.
I don't sing.
You
Come
have to.
sing, please.
I actually don't
हम
sing.
दिल दे चुके सनम में अजय देवगन ने भी गाना गाया था, तो you can sing.
Yeah, come on. Go ahead.
But
So?
What's your favorite song? Okay, tell me, what's your favorite song?
why
I actually don't have a favorite song. That's the thing.
have you been to college?
You're,
Yeah, I have. I
you're
have.
not into music?
This is
that
exactly
much?
what it feels like
It's
to
like,
get
see, the
ragged.
thing is, I have listened to music and stuff, but yeah, never really like have a favorite music or favorite song or whatever.
Okay.
How is that even
I give you
possible?
5 seconds. What's the first song that comes to your head?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
1,
It need not be your
2,
favorite.
3, 4, 5.
You've bullied
I
a lot
was
of
literally
people.
blank, not gonna lie.
Have
Completely.
you?
Take
यार
another
इसकी
bite, Zach.
रैगिंग अगर होती तो क्या
हाँ,
होता इसका?
और तू रैग
the
कर रही
thing
है भाई
is-
मैं देख रहा हूँ इतनी देर से
नहीं,
तू ही
नहीं,
करी
the
जा रही
thing
है
is,
रैग इसको और कोई नहीं
I
कर रहा है.
normally I can't
तेरे
get
से
rag.
ना चड्डी
IRL
उतार
you
के
won't.
पोछा करवा देते यार.
IRL नहीं हो पाता.
Speaking of ragging,
You
रैगिंग
cannot.
IRL ही होती है ऐसा?
You can't. वही बोल रहा हूँ.
क्यों?
Try तो करो.
होती थी, अब तो
क्यों?
नहीं होती है.
Sid, I am 6'4".
So
When someone is in front, they don't normally, even try to rag. And especially, जब मैं, story time, when I was in college, there was a guy who was trying to rag me. And it was only like both of us
Sounds so
there.
wrong.
अरे, सुन तो लो, it is nothing
who's the
wrong.
two-spirited black lesbian now?
You. But yeah, basically, he's like, kind of like forcing me to go fill up his water bottle and whatnot. Like, long story short, he was trying to rag. I was
It's
like
not
straight up,
ragging, sir.
huh?
That is not ragging.
It is, it is. The way, like he was saying ye kar, wo kar, I just ignored him. Then his whole like senior batch, started coming into the like जहाँ पे हम लोग बैठे हुए थे, and he was like, it's like suddenly उसने देखा, उसने collar पकड़ा. I hate when people get physical.
English. Nico is
Oh,
also
okay.
watching.
Sorry. So basically, I hate when people get physical, with me. So he started, catching the collar and like, I'm your senior, you should do this, blah blah blah, whatever.
Wow.
I stood up and I gave him one warning. I'm like, Dick, if you want to, take this to the next level, I don't mind. I am not the kind of person who will, fight people, but if I have to, I will. Shut
Yeah.
up and go. Like obviously Hindi में बोला तो अब different रहेगा, but yeah, I was basically like, like properly usko मैंने like in a very high level of voice, I just shouted at him कि निकल यहाँ से. From that
और
time,
निकल
all
गए
the
थे.
scene, So basically, all the seniors who were there became my friends because no one liked him. And it's like, I never really got into a situation where I can get ragged or whatever.
Yeah.
Purushottam
You were
swagger
just
kar do.
lucky at that point of
That's
time. That's it.
that's not
It's not
ragging.
like people
Fair
did not
enough.
rag you. They
Luck
Ragging.
तो अच्छा
cannot
है
rag
ना.
you.
No,
हाँ,
I mean, there is
तेरा
a very
lucky अच्छा था. बाकी तेरे अभी if you had a guy who was 6'5",
Hmm.
senior who tried to rag you and probably well built, that would have been
Hmm.
a different story altogether, right? So it's just your luck
yeah.
and that you did not get ragged properly.
Also, the fact that
That's why we don't.
there is a difference between getting ragged and getting
I
bullied.
don't even want to talk about my
That
ragging.
was bullying that you faced. That was not ragging.
That was a bully that you faced, and the bully was not socially accepted in the first place.
Hmm.
Exactly. So the other seniors
Oh,
had your back. But if the other seniors were to rag you, that would have been a totally different.
तेरे तो हो गया था
नहीं,
फिर
that's the
clapping.
thing. No, it's like basically होता क्या है? I just
और दूसरी
avoid
बात
that kind of
बताता हूँ.
situation. अभी तक तो
हाँ
वही
वो
हुआ है.
भी है.
So
वो भी है. दूसरी
yeah,
बात बताऊँ. तेरे इंजीनियरिंग के टाइम तक इंजीनियरिंग राइट
nope.
whatever
आज में
graduation के
yeah.
टाइम
मास्टर
graduation के
व्हाट
टाइम पे
आगे
when you
बेशक मत
were
बोल
getting
दियो.
ragging
हाँ?
शुक्र बे
क्या बोला इसने? Sick.
but again when you're doing your
Hmm.
graduation time तक ना
Yeah.
ragging had already become very
Hmm.
less.
True. Yeah.
हमारे टाइम में ऐसा नहीं था.
It's like 3 idiots type ragging कभी नहीं हुआ.
थ्री
वैसा नहीं
इडियट्स
होता भी नहीं
थ्री
है.
थ्री
Honestly, में तो
थ्री
वैसा होता
इडियट्स
भी.
बहुत
बहुत
कम
ही
था जो मेरे साथ हुआ था.
5%.
ठीक है. I can't even disclose what happened to me.
Why? Disclose. This is the point. This.
Confidentiality agreement.
अगर साइन किया बात अलग है, लेकिन
लेकिन पता है क्या होती है? Do you
this
know
is
what
where
that
the
is?
content
My
starts.
cousin went to
Tell.
the college. He had a knack of growing his hair out because Atif Aslam was new to the scene, right?
Hmm.
So it was a fashion key. You're gonna grow out your hair till the shoulder. Like, guys, okay?
Okay.
Goes to the college and they literally shaved his entire head off. That's ragging.
That's bullying.
What?
That's bullying.
That is,
Yeah.
Ragging to
That's
like is,
ragging.
yeah. I mean that's like bragging and bullying
Every
combined.
single first year student was given a buzz cut.
एक बंदा था हमारे इंजीनियरिंग टाइम पे.
जी man.
He was one of our juniors. He
हाँ,
was he tried to resist ragging. So
हाँ,
इसका पनिशमेंट ये था. गर्ल्स हॉस्टल के सामने जो टेनिस कोर्ट है
हाँ.
उसको कच्चे में बैठ के he had to take a pencil. एक टूटा हुआ पेंसिल दिया and he had to measure that entire thing and convert it into meters and tell the entire result.
Wow. That's ragging.
Yeah.
Like
And
making
you know
real
what
things
is
happen.
bullying?
Bullying is
You
being
know
very.
what's bullying? No, do you know what's bullying? My brother,
अबे आंसर
cousin
तो
brother,
करने
he
दे.
was
नो
in
नो नो
this.
पहले बोल देगी तो आंसर कहाँ से करूँगा?
I,
मैं एग्जाम्पल दे रही हूँ ना, उसी ब्रदर के जिसके बाल उड़ा दिए गए थे.
हाँ बोल.
Bullying is when my brother was trying to grow his hair back and he comes to my house and I take scissors and I cut his hair off again.
What? What? Sorry again.
She cut his
बोलते
hair
हैं ना,
off and he came
ऐसे
back.
दोस्त हो तो दुश्मन की चाहिए, ऐसी बहन हो तो दुश्मन की चाहिए.
Seniors क्यों चाहिए?
मेरा
Bullies क्यों
सीरियस
चाहिए?
चाहिए नहीं.
Bully.
Ah.
This is
You
just
cut
why.
his hair and when he was sleeping?
No, but we are actually drifting from the topic. Are
Why
you gonna
will?
dance for us? Are you gonna
No, we're not
sing
Sing.
for us?
drifting away. Like,
Hell no.
see, the bully activated. Now you have to tell
What?
if you're dancing or not.
The bullish things that you did to your
Obviously
brother.
no. What are you gonna do virtually?
What am I gonna?
What?
I'm gonna cancel you.
Sure, go on.
Cancelled. That's
मुझे
the
समझ में नहीं
question.
आया. सिड ने क्या कहा?
The bully sister just got activated. Thinking about that.
So we want to know what are the bully things that you did to your
Yeah.
brother
And
or
then,
to
now you
others.
redirect,
Lord.
you channeling that bully towards swagger right now.
I was only a bully to my cousins and my brothers. I
वो तो
remember
होते हैं.
taking a handful of sand. My Masis, my aunts and their children were there, and my cousin brother just took a shower. He comes out, his hair is all like wet and stuff. I take a handful of sand and just like Was
Oh, bhai saab.
and he's just standing over there, giving me that furious look like, "मारूंगा तेरे को." Like I was just, I'm the youngest actually, like 10, 15 years older to me. They
That's how
can't
you get.
really get angry at me a certain point because
I mean,
I
that
had
won't be
one thing.
bullying, right?
They got angry, I started crying. That was the only defense system I had.
There is a bully
Yeah,
downwards up भी bully होता है, especially when somebody is younger than you, by the way, and that
yeah,
too
it's just
नहीं
not
the
तो
called.
youngest.
It's
उसका
just not called
उसका
bullying.
I
Yeah.
got उसका I got a answer back from all my cousins. You're playing cricket. भी किससे? लेदर की बॉल से. बॉल आके सीधा मेरे सर पे पड़ी थी and it was on purpose. यहाँ आके पड़ी थी. My head was completely swollen.
We can still see
Well
the effects
deserved.
till day. Okay.
I knew you were going to say
I would
that.
say that was.
Ouch.
No, I would still say that was not well deserved. I mean, what come tha?
You
This
can
man
see
has gone through a lot of shit.
The trauma is appearing on his face.
Oh yeah.
PTSD है क्या?
Oh no. उतना PTSD नहीं है.
Speaking of the SD, and my SSD is also getting filled up with all the new games. Which one are you guys?
He's basically, trying to segue into being like, chalo,
Into
let's
talking
talk about games.
games, please. Given
Me to play games. Fortnite.
we just hit a dead end of bully talks. So I want to talk
Me
about
to play games में नए games में.
the finals. Have you not checked it out? The finals is one of those games that we need to play.
I have not. Sorry,
You
I don't
have
have a
to.
lot of. I can't because I'm on PS4. I'm not in PC Master Race, so I might be
Live.
not one out over here. Because a
Nah,
lot
it's
of
all
free
right.
games for
By
you
the time
guys
you
is
reach,
what we have to.
by
What
the
we have
time
to
you
pay.
reach
You know?
Michigan, I'm sure you're going to upgrade to a PS5 or to a PC.
No
Unless it's
PS.
PC, it's still slave.
Hmm.
क्यों PS5 ठीक है. It's almost as good as a PC.
The thing here is that the games that you guys are getting for free on Steam, you have to pay for it.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
PSN, na?
We,
You have to
we
pay.
can share a library.
Steam library नहीं share होगी PS5 पे.
Exactly. PS5 पे कैसे होगा?
Team की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ. PlayStation की लाइब्रेरी भी शेयर कर सकते हैं ना.
वो
There
तो
are
मैं अभी भी
all
कर
the
सकती हूँ PS4 पे. You know that, right?
हाँ हाँ.
Yeah.
नहीं, जो भी गेम PS Steam पे होता है वो तो PC पे PS पे होता ही है almost now.
But not always free, you know. Not always free.
I mean, what
Like,
Rero says does make sense. You can go for a Stream Deck. जितने भी Steam पे game है, you can play. The only thing is, see,
Steam
most of the times, especially in India, people, what's it called, pirate games. So it's like free में खेल लेते हैं, and it's like, everyone knows about it. And not just India. There's so many people, and so many sites where you can get, like pirated stuff.
Those are
disclaimer डाल दो.
Yeah, there is one lady I know who is
especially
really
outside of
in-depth in
India.
that.
Those websites are.
Her
huh?
name is Fit Girl.
Yes, exactly. She's like one
She's
of the
very fit.
most popular, fit girls out there.
Very fit. Very fit.
It's like वही है ना कि people just go
Wait,
there, get the
what?
games and whatnot.
Anybody who remembers these guys
Oh,
also remembers
Bunny
the
doesn't
fact
know.
that
Fit Girl.
Very
anybody who
Uh,
remembers.
since we're on stream, we are referring her as a her.
Hmm.
Yeah. But
Oh,
also, yeah. So I mean, if anybody remembers all these piracy groups, then though you remember Razer and all the other guys, like, like the OGs.
They were big
of,
time.
the OGs of repacking and all of these. These
see again,
Oh,
that's the thing. It's
but
like at the end of the day, there are few people who will, kind of like just want to buy games, and there are few people who will just try to, how do I say it? Like, just get games for free and stuff. So it's like, especially for me, I don't really like, like pirating and stuff because one,
same.
I've never done it, so I don't know how to do it. And second, it's like, yes, everyone likes a free game. Who wants to pay for a game when you can get it for free?
I already have so many games for free, like literally 300,
That
400
is because of
games.
Epics.
Epic,
Huh.
Steam, The bots in the Discord, they keep telling you all of these things. You really don't need to go anywhere these days. Also, the fact
Wait,
that
see, the problem is with the whole gaming scene right now. Obviously, this is the topic that you wanted to bring up as well, Sid. Is that right? Like when I was streaming every single day, for me, it's like we had so many different games coming out. Like there was a game called Super People. I don't know if you guys have even heard about it.
yeah,
So
played
it's
it.
like,
I
Played it.
absolutely despise
yeah,
that game. Yeah.
We
see,
played it a lot.
that's exactly what I mean. So Voila game was super fun to me because Fortnite that time was very, very stale for me. Like I did not like Fortnite at all because one, ping was very high, and second thing was that it's like I'm just sitting there, I'm thinking to myself, कि भाई, if I make a wall, someone's gonna take the wall and just kill me. Edit, kill. वही हो रहा था mostly. So what happened after a point was I just got stuck with Valo because no one was playing CS at that point, and
Yeah.
Valo was like the in thing. सब लोग वही खेल रहे हैं because it just came out.
Yeah.
So I started playing Valo. I liked it. I started grinding rank, got to diamond, whatnot. उसके बाद I went to Apex because I was like I love battle royales. So I was like Apex is a fun game. Let's try this out.
Yeah.
I played Apex, so I started a series where I'm getting to diamond in every single game. Some random viewer just told me, why don't you try Super People out? I wouldn't have even known if that person didn't tell me. And my friend also, the same night, he told me, try it out. I tried the game. There was literally like tournaments going on and stuff. And like, it was so good. Like had so much fun playing the game. उसमें, recoil, I got used to it. कि जो tournament था, उसमें I came 5th in SEA. So it's
Nice.
like those kind of things, they are nice. Like when you have an incentive to it, to playing a game, it's fun. Or games like Among Us and Fall Guys, they
Yeah.
are fun only with friends. If you're playing it solo, Among Us you can't play solo, and
Yeah.
Fall Guys you can play solo, but it gets boring after a point.
Certain games are designed like that, right? So we have to understand the whole premise of the game as well. Among Us was practically a social deduction game. So
Yep.
you have to understand that they designed it in a manner that cannot be played without the people, and especially when you're playing with your own known circle,
Yep.
it gives you a better kick as well because you're trying to play you're trying to one up your own. So
Okay, so see, this is the main point. It's like when you're streaming, you
yeah,
want to play with, let's say, your subs or your friends. You don't want to just go there, play a solo game. There are people who do that, not
yeah,
saying no.
yeah,
But then for me, it's always been, more fun to watch someone play with someone else and maybe, let's say, trying to get good at the game or just, full time pass kar rahe hain log and they're still having fun at the game. Like
yeah.
a game is meant to have fun at the end of the day.
Is it?
I mean, depends on which game you play, obviously. Like Apex, you cannot have fun. There's going to be a third party coming out of nowhere killing you. Unless
That's
you
it.
have like,
That's the basic nature of battle royales. I played
so yeah,
the
it's like
That's
first.
That's the
depending on the
point
game.
people miss, right? They end
Yeah,
up going to the hospital with a, saline drip and everything just
Exactly.
for playing a game they were supposed to enjoy.
yeah.
ठीक है
No,
यार.
see, Battle Royale.
Then 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 they end up playing with
I see where
marbles.
the missile has been shot. I see how it's going. They end up having a marble in their gut, right?
मैंने तो बोला ही नहीं कुछ.
Yes, it was all you.
All you.
It's all
Grandmaster
ranked.
Gogo.
Had to solo queue ranked.
Crime Master Gogo.
No, but see, that's what I mean. It's like few people like a certain kind of games. Like there are few friends of mine
Yeah.
who only like party games. Like Pummel Party tha, there's like Gang Beast, they only play that.
Yeah.
And then I have friends who basically, only play competitive games. They
Yeah.
play
Imagine
CS,
having
Valo,
friends.
LOL.
क्या? What is this silence for?
What Bunny said. But
What did she say?
imagine having friends.
Oh, I am so sorry. I cannot empathize.
Uh,
The point you can empathize with, imagine having girlfriends.
I can't because
wow.
I'm
Cannot.
straight.
No, I'm talking to Sid.
Unlike Sid, who is,
Who's
Sexual?
two spirited black lesbian? Yes.
Two spirited?
Two spirited black lesbian cat. पूरा finish कर लो.
two-spirited black lesbian octopus. Oi, oi, oi.
Who identifies as a
What?
Luna. Luna.
Who identifies as a Apache helicopter.
Or,
Ulta khada
No,
ho
or
ke.
Luna.
yellow
No,
wali
change
Luna.
that. Luna. Remember that?
Sure.
Moped.
Yep.
Dude.
Bhai sahab, that is going to
Yeah,
be
new games. Need to
the
play new
final
games.
to
There's
hai.
one
The
game,
final.
Farlight.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Twilight
One
is
game
like
called Farlight.
Apex.
The
Apex just
the
identifying
VR.
as Fortnite right now. So
See,
no.
the thing is, I don't really like that game because it's like, again, I'm nothing wrong with the mechanics and stuff. It's just that when they add mobile as well as PC, like playing
Yeah.
together,
Yeah.
I don't really like it because when I played like 5 games or 6 games,
Right.
every game I'm getting 14 kills by
Yeah.
just like with my movement. It's not even just aim. I'm able
Yeah.
to aim better than them. I'm able to like have better movement than them because you have like abilities to jump out, like in the air and whatnot. So it's like it was basically like a skill issue for the opponents because they're on the mobile. They don't really have that kind of thing. So yeah, it's like it
You're
was.
talking about this
BGMI
game,
is
Farlight.
back.
Yes, I'm talking about Farlight. And
And
Yeah,
then
I
there are
just
games
cannot.
like BGMI, who, which is
had a
basically meant
threesome.
for.
BGMI had a threesome with Fortnite and Apex. That's
No, see, it's basically PUBG, right? BGMI, or it was when I used to
It
play it.
was,
It
now
was.
it's Free Fire.
See, this is what I mean. It's like people keep
I saw
adding
that
too much stuff
yesterday.
to the games.
Yeah,
Fortnite is the biggest example. Fortnite was perfect. They added, shit like what's it called? The mechs. They added planes. They added tanks to the game. They just spoiled the game to a point where
No.
people stopped playing the game. And now
yeah,
they
yeah.
came back.
In my opinion, Fortnite was shit before. Then it
It's
became
better now.
okay
Hmm.
with no build.
yeah.
Yeah, now it's good. That's what I mean. It's like there was for let's say I used to play Fortnite almost every single day when I was in college. Once it's like after a point, I think I would say around season 7 is when they started adding some OP stuff, which is basically like you get that or you lose. So basically, Hack, there used to be this mech thing called mech. If
Yeah.
the
Yeah, I
whole
used to see
server
them.
is
I
not
used
shooting
to.
at the mech,
Yeah.
you're basically invincible.
Yeah,
You
I
can
know.
just hold left click, chill and win.
That's it.
I've
Yeah.
seen. I've played that season. Hack was in the chat. I was trying to convince him to play this thing, and this is what exactly uh, the premise of that game, right? So Fortnite essentially was that particular game
Hmm.
that never had the conventional shooting mechanics and shooting items, right? Like the items in general, like
Hmm.
throwing chug splashes and all of these heals. The you don't get in any other game.
But
Um,
that's why it was fun.
exactly. So mechs were
Hmm.
never part of any other game as well. Plus, they picked up a couple of ideas from War Robots and other ways as well. They tried to mash it up, and that's how
The
they
thing
came about to
is,
be. And I've loved how these guys have always accommodated ideas. They
hmm,
failed, of course they did, but they
yep.
they they, they also reverted those ideas as
No,
well.
that's why I respect Epic Games and Fortnite, devs quite a lot because
Yeah,
they kept adding stuff. It's
yeah,
like even when the people who stopped playing the game, they
right,
didn't be like, okay, fine, people are not playing, I'm not gonna add stuff or
right,
remove stuff. They still were like, you know what? It's fine. We're gonna add trial and error. If people like it, they like it. If they don't, they go away. They're making
yeah.
money anyways.
Oh yeah,
So it's like because of that, they're still, when people say Fortnite is dead, I'm like, dude, go check the servers. There are millions of, people.
seven
It
million,
could be just kids, but
7 million
fair
on just
enough.
the
7 million kids are playing it.
7 million
Yeah.
on the build ones. I
Oh,
think
why not?
3 or
So it's
4
like
million
people are
on
still playing it.
no build ones. It was crazy to watch. And on any given,
Yep.
like on an average day, the peaks are like crazy altogether. Plus these guys,
No, the game that's actually dying is Apex right now.
oh yeah, it's already dead.
Well,
They
like,
they
Activision.
they've
no, no.
For
The game which
me,
is dead is PUBG. PC wala.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Dude,
it's
okay,
actually
see,
researched back. You know,
It's
they
exactly.
research.
recent.
This is what I
Why?
was coming up
Because
with.
they
The update.
they recently added a revive mechanism now
Yep.
in PUBG. You can revive your friends who
Mm,
are down. You can collect their tags and then
mm.
wait for them to revive, come back, and
it,
all
it
that.
wasn't there earlier, like
Nope.
PUBG Mobile.
So
No,
this
Mobile?
is exactly why I brought up
PUBG
super people.
Mobile में revive कहाँ था?
किसी में भी रिवाइव, किसी भी पबजी में रिवाइव नहीं था ना,
Revive नहीं था.
ना वो पबजी
Revive as in once you're down, revive कर सकते हो. Once you're totally dead,
Completely dead.
like yeah,
you're out of the game. You had to wait for your friends to finish.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
average
So see,
players.
that
Wow.
is what the biggest issue was with even Fortnite for that matter. Before they had respawn vehicles,
Yeah.
Apex was super fun because there was a chance of you coming back to the game. So it's like I've seen this with multiple people where if you're playing, let's say Apex, they support you. Like if you're the last member in the squad alive, they support you. Ki bhai tu nikal le, you know, you can go and rev us. Whereas in PUBG, if you are completely dead, you're like, "Arey jaldi marna." That is the
in
first
that
thing that
in
comes.
that in that thing, right? The game which actually pioneered that
Hmm,
and actually made it a viral thing of the revival mechanism was
hmm.
Warzone.
Correct. Yeah.
They
No,
invented, yeah, they
It was
did.
Apex and
They
then
brought in
Warzone.
it was Apex, Fortnite,
Apex में
Warzone
था,
in that order.
Apex में था, but Warzone pioneered the fact where the Gulag system came in picture,
Yes. You
where you
completely
still
did.
had to fight to come back. You
Yep.
just
Gulag was a
cannot,
whole different story. Gulag
exactly,
was,
that's what I'm talking about.
yes, Gulag was
And
like an extended version of getting
unfortunately,
revived.
as you said, unlike Epic Games,
Hmm.
Activision stopped listening to the fans.
True.
They focused on their yearly launch of games rather
Yeah.
than focusing on one game at a time.
Yeah.
They focused on a long term revenue, and their shareholders are, of course, conservative assholes again at the same point of time.
I'm
So,
gonna say one thing. I suppose मेरा समय आ चुका है because I have to wake up early in the morning. I have a doctor's appointment, and
It's one. I
What
didn't even
time?
see the time.
well, we
Yeah.
talked on just one topic for 3.5 hours.
No,
I
no.
don't know
Yep.
how these people on the news channel they finish off their entire debate in an hour. That's what I was thinking when I was drinking
yeah,
Oh,
my
that's
because
tea.
they
because
have
they
like
all
10,
speak.
20, they have 20 people at a time, and each is screaming into the next window. So
Exactly. No
obviously
one
they
knows
end
what's
it,
going on.
and they end it faster because anyways, nobody will reach a conclusion.
Oh
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah,
they,
I'm
We had a
sorry.
very productive
Yes, we
yeah.
did.
discussion.
We
Yeah.
need more people. We need more podcasts of these sorts, and we need more people watching it because these kind of things will actually help people from
Right,
both the sides understand.
right. Whoever is in the
Yeah.
chat and you're listening to her right now, we'll see you in the next one. And of course, if you guys would like to join us, you can join the Discord first. And once we're putting out the invitations, please participate. And thanks a lot for joining us.
And this man points out my accent.
I don't have an accent.
You do have an accent, my guy.
Every American thinks that he doesn't have an accent.
You
I
do
do.
have
I'm
an
not.
accent, my guy.
I do not have an accent. When did I?
You
No.
have an accent, dude. You have a clear accent.
What do you
Which
mean
And
you have
accent
an
though?
in
accent?
fact, you should see him. He automatically switches into Middle Eastern accent, and
That
whenever
I
he
do.
plays the Call of Duty,
That I
Like,
do.
he's
even in the
normally
movies
talking
almost.
in Hindi like, hey, kya kar raha hai? yaar?" Like, hi, what's up? He just completely switches over.
That I do. That.
That's a good streamer. No,
Thank you.
You both have an accent.
I did
Okay,
not
we
have an
agree.
accent.
We
Sorry.
agree.
Oh, Bunny does have
We
accent.
agree.
Yes.
Yeah, see?
Whenever I
That can
play Apex
change.
with you and you have like someone from, let's say a foreign, not from India, basically,
Yeah.
honestly sometimes I can't understand what you're saying. I sit there like, "हैं क्या बोला इसने?" Like legit.
Mm.
Isn't that good?
Yes.
It is very
Yes.
good.
Yeah. मैं ये Call of Duty खेलते खेलते
अभी
accent जरूर
रशियन
आता
एक्सेंट क्यों आ गया?
I have a thing. I have a thing when I pick up accents. I
Everyone
sometimes
does.
feel like I'm being racist while doing that, but it happens. Like if I'm around a person who's from Russia, I pick up their accent. If I'm around
है.
a person who's
I think
from
that's just
America,
normal, like
All of us here
nature.
do that.
All
Yeah.
of us
Me
do
and
that.
Sid, especially whenever we get into games, we do that a lot.
Yeah. And especially there are a bunch of
And
there are a bunch of people who would ask and would portray this as um, cultural
racist.
appropriation.
Culture.
But as soon as like Nico
Big
here, for
words.
example, right? So he made me speak certain things in Finnish, and then he was surprised by the fact that I do not have the Indian accent speaking Finnish, which was a thing, and which was so much fun. So he validated the
Exactly.
fact, and he liked it, and he appreciated it as well. People do that.
I'll give
Okay,
you a
so
very recent
this.
example of that which happened to me.
Mhm.
Recently, we had our one of our client who was visiting from Japan. Okay, and
Moshi moshi.
me and my team, we decided to dress up in kimonos so that just to visit them, and I mean just to help them ease in.
Yeah.
And we kept aside kimonos for them as well. We completely changed our meeting room decor into a Japanese sauna style kind of a atmosphere, for
Right.
a lack of a better term. But it was pretty well done by our, infrastructure team. They really
They were
got
impressed.
everything done in a, yeah, it was very good. And then comes our HR who came to talk to my director, saying that we received complaints from our staff saying that you are doing all this stuff, which is not good. This is considered cultural appropriation. You're not supposed to do all that. So we took off our kimonos. We again went back to our normal stuff because HR had formally logged a complaint on ourselves. Then the Japanese came in, they saw all this stuff. We didn't change the room. The meeting room ko aise rehne diya. We just removed our kimonos and everything. And they saw everything. They were so impressed. They were talking to us um and they were like, this is a very good thing you did. We
Yeah.
really feel at home. And they took the dishes and they made tea for us all to drink.
Yeah.
In the end, they poured sake for all of us as well,
Wow.
and they got involved in it. They loved it that we did it.
They.
And then we took
Yeah.
this to the HR, and yeah, and they saw the kimonos there. They immediately changed into it when we were going starting to drink, right? So they went from after our formal discussion was over, we
Yeah.
decided to have drinks, and the drinks tray was brought on. They immediately saw the kimonos over there. They went and put it because that's what they do. When they relax, they put on their kimonos, and then they sat and had sake shots with us. So it was like
You
beautiful.
reminded me of a scene from the Suits, the series, where Louis Litt pulls this sort of a thing.
Oh
And
yeah,
yeah, and
exactly.
he completely impresses the crap out of his client as well.
I referenced that too when we were doing that.
Because this is something that they actually, and they have, it's not just their culture, it's part of their mannerisms on a micro level, as nano level as well, that Japanese do this. In fact, we also do this. It's just a matter of where we are. Like, we get lazy
Yep.
around our parents for sure, but when we go outside,
True,
we
very
do
true.
that too. And
There was this
Oh,
guy who did an social. Sorry, Bunny, go ahead.
I'm just saying I will have to take my leave because yeah, I have to sleep, take my meds, eat something, maybe
Me
like a
too.
sandwich or something, and I shall leave, sit,
Like
and
Maggie.
hack.
I have to go eat food.
Uh,
Yes,
I think we
yes.
all have to eat
अरे बोलने
something.
दो यार बेचारी को.
हैक को सब चाहिए, स्वैगर को मैगी खानी है, सिड कुछ ढूंढेगा, मे बी खमीर रोटी खाएगा बटर के साथ, and I have to see what I can cook. But thanks for the podcast. I really enjoyed it,
Well said.
and
Thanks for joining us. This was a lovely,
see you
lovely one.
guys later.
We
I hope
all had fun.
we all had fun.
Bye.
Bye
Mau
bye.
out.
What?
Not Mao. Not the
Oh, like this.
How about?
Mao. Not like Maoist.
Ma-
I'm a Maoist now.
Oof. Oh, she's still here in spirit. She's still, her spirit is
Yes,
Yeah.
still
I
talking.
am.
Wow.
Oh,
And I think what?
nothing.
That's not Bunny, I hope.
That is
Uh,
Bunny.
that is Bunny doing it, but not with not with the vocal cords.
Yeah, makes more sense. So I think this was a fun
Hello,
session.
how are you? I am under the water.
Who did
Please
that?
help
Let's
me.
have shorter sessions though next time. I'm
इसको
super sleepy.
short sessions? No, Ray. That is not happening. See?
Swagger, I
Because
have to tell you one thing, man.
what's up?
What?
That is you.
नंबर वन बुलशिट गाय
हाँ?
मैंने अभी म्यूट किया और एकदम से चला गया भाई. What the heck?
मैंने क्या किया? Hello?
मैंने म्यूट किया साउंड बोर्ड फिर भी चल गया इसका.
Nee, I just wanted to play that.
But how is that even playing? I muted your soundboard. Number one.
You-
bullshit. एक सेकंड पहले म्यूट किया था मैंने, हुआ नहीं वो उस टाइम पे.
Stop doing that, Bunny.
मैंने म्यूट कर दिया भाई.
No, you just can mute yourself, I think. Your soundboard.
No, I can mute all of your soundboards for myself.
It's basically like I can mute for like single
You,
person.
yeah, you
And
can.
I'm done. Bye, guys.
You guys
Bye bye.
can hear
Bye.
each other, but I cannot hear any of that. Failed.